We're live.
Hello.
We're waiting to see.
Yes, dude. 69.
It's there. It's doing the
Let the
thing.
chaos ensue.
Yeah. In chaos, it will be indeed. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Quiet Kenku, a fantastic place in a not so fantastic world known as Iodithis. We got session 3 today, and we have a guest. The man in the middle, the man, the myth, the legend. That guy, Brand. Yeah. They're
Hello,
here.
I'm glad to be here tonight.
Yeah, of course. It's good to have you. Good to have you back in these parts. Yeah, it's good stuff. Okay, I just had to check a message. So, yeah, again, session 3 tonight. We're gonna do a little bit of a Christmas twist, but we're gonna just be continuing the main campaign. But it is, it's Christmas time. It's a couple days before Christmas. We gotta throw a little twist in there. So there we go. Just responded to your message, Brand. There we go. Okay. So yeah, we're good there. So a couple just small announcements. As always, you've got Connor right below me. They do art at Connor_Lycan on Instagram and other places as well. They do all my artwork. They're awesome. Go hit them up. So there's that. My stuff as far as streaming, just kind of a quick update on that. I will get back on schedule. I had a hell of a beginning to this week. I was doing really good for a week, and then I finished college, started a new job, and everything else at once. That was a massive mistake. So this next week is going to be a little better in that front. So that's really all I got. I don't have a lot of announcements. So there we go. But yes, quick recap of the session before. So the party had made their way to the Dobrus Dominion, to a small trading town known as Dumsivak. They had come on the ship with their crew that they'd been traveling with, as well as the gang and gang leader of Deadlock. They traveled there, delivered the cargo that was their original mission, and Deadlock and them have kind of parted ways thus far. They just kind of went their separate ways. They went to a tavern and had a few drinks. There was a drinking contest. Edna and I believe Vokden as well participated in. And they got a little tipsy, but they won some money. Money was won. And they heard a scream from outside. Outside, this blood-curdling scream. And upon investigating, they saw this hunched figure wearing a long black cloak. And as it lifted its head, they saw tentacles that came down. A creature that none of them, prior to this, would have recognized, as they've never been on this plane of existence before. Earlier that day, they'd seen a ship crash down, and there was connection made. And so, we're going to start there. You're in the street, and you see this woman lying on the ground, blood surrounding her. A couple of you just now shaking off this stunned daze that this shriek of this creature put you in. However, you shake that off, and it's gone. It ran off. None of you that would have been able to chase after it could. It was too fast. And those of you that definitely could have caught up, Elia, you being one of them, you were stunned and you couldn't. So you see this woman's body lying on the ground. And Lucia, I would like to make a note. You and I, in the break between sessions, we did talk about something, and you recognize this woman from a few months before, over a year before, actually. On your travels, you came across a family who helped you. A father, a mother, some children. And they said they were making their way this way. And as you kind of look upon her face, shaking off the event of what has just transpired, and you really get a look at her, you recognize that woman as the mother, who at the time was pregnant. But it's been long enough. At this point, she probably gave birth already. But you do recognize her. So, take that as you will. The mindflayer is gone, and as you look, you see no visible tracks. Just a quick glance with any passives. None of you see any visible tracks, as it seemed to almost glide away. And so, a group's gathered around you at this point. Is there anything any of you would like to do at the current moment?
Am I still suffering from exhaustion?
You would still be drunk, so yeah.
Okay.
If not, something will happen, but I want to see if there's anything anyone wants to do before I do. Nothing. Okay. And so, as you all stand there watching this scene, the crowd kind of gathering around, some of them pushing and jostling you as well. Someone kind of pushes their way through the crowd. And Brant, if you would like to describe what they see as your character pushes through.
Okay, so the figure that pushes his way through the front of this crowd, it's an older half-elven man. Hair was originally probably black or dark brown, but the sides of it have grayed, and his beard had already grayed. He looks tired. He's wearing probably a brown long coat over his a uniform of one of the people that, I don't recall exactly who it was last session, had an encounter with one of them.
It was Vokden.
One of the uniforms of one of the people that Vokden had an encounter with. On his hip is a holstered weapon, some sort of firearm. If you are familiar with them, it would be rather obvious that that's what it is. And I would say he would probably be in the middle of kind of tossing a cigarette out. And it's kind of going, all right, out of the way, move along, official business. And then he would see the body.
And coming up a little bit behind your character is another man, more portly, a little shorter but larger, wearing a very similar uniform, although with a couple more pins here and there, and a bit of a 5 o'clock shadow. And he's kind of taken up the rear, walking a bit more casually, kind of he's clearing the way. I'll just follow him behind. And so he follows. And Brant, I did tell you that's the guy I was talking about earlier.
Perfect.
Just so you know. And so two of you approach, and immediately, as soon as you get to the front, pushing your way through the crowd, you do see the body as well, blood everywhere, and people part for you rather easy. It is a ghastly sight. Anything you'd like to do?
I think for a moment he would be taken aback by the sight of it. He's seen shit before. This would be something else entirely.
Mm-hmm. I think that's accurate. This man, and just for clarification here, the main party here, you would have been at the front of this crowd, as you were the first ones to arrive there, except for probably one woman who originally saw it, but you would be in the front, and so you would hear all of this. He kind of, this portly man turns to your character, Brand, which I don't recall. Did you say his name? I don't.
His name has not been mentioned yet.
True. I think this makes sense. The portly man's going to kind of turn to you and... Fuck. Something like that running loose in the city. It's going to cause a problem.
Respectfully, something like what? The fuck does this?
I don't know. But we've got shipments to get out. We've got things to do. Commerce to get taken. This is going to be bad.
I think at this point in time, Warden would kind of turn towards the people nearest to the body. Which would be the party in this case?
The party, yeah.
Do you mind explaining what happened here?
Elia will sort of she'll be leaning on a quarterstaff to keep her upright. But she'll sort of turn and she'll say, "We have as much of an idea as you at the minute. We heard a scream, much like everyone else, and whatever it was hit me at least, but the rest of us as well, pretty badly."
Did you see anything at all?
The man with Warden here is going to pull out a notebook and is going to kind of look to you. If you could describe it in as much detail as possible, that would be from what you saw.
A squid on the body of a man.
I'm going to need you to make me a persuasion check, at the very least, Elia, at the very least for this guy, and for Warden as well. I think makes sense.
100% insight check that shit.
Because
Could
it is
I give
unheard of.
Elia
Help action.
advantage with some help?
What do you say?
He basically sympathy.
Okay. You're good. This is basically just reiterating. Okay, yeah, advantage. Go ahead.
14.
14. Okay. Here, let me. Was.
Give me a second.
Still. Yeah. Okay. The more portly man seems to kind of start to sketch something. What he's kind of getting, just getting like a basic sketch down of a squid on the body of a man. He doesn't really say anything. He doesn't seem to disbelieve you.
Oh, fuck.
Why Elia is describing it, I want to be using silent image directly behind Elia to slowly start manifesting the creature they're explaining.
Because you would have seen it as well. I will say, with your slight drunkenness, it's not perfect. It's a little distorted, as your everything was distorted. However,
Yes.
you can do that, no problem. And so
24.
24? Okay. Honestly, Warden, as this description is given of what it looks like, you do kind of, you seem to know a bit of truth in there. There doesn't seem to be any of the telltale signs of somebody who is telling a lie. And I think a rational thought you would kind of have is, why? Why would you? So you do, it does seem like they're telling the truth. Your guy, though, who came with you, your boss, really doesn't seem to really pay as much mind as you, though. You can kind of tell. And so he just sketching it down. But then you see, the both of you do see, behind Elia manifesting this, wearing a long black flowing cloak. Is there any specific pose, Vokden, you put it in, or just kind of standing there?
Actually, I'd like to make it directly hovered under the body and kind of recreate the scenario.
Recreate the scenario. That you can do.
And it pops its hip.
Oh my god. And so this creature, it begins to manifest out of nothing. And out of the corner of your eye, Warden, you see this. Because it would technically, from where things are positioned, this would be happening kind of behind you. But out of the corner of your eye, you see something appearing over the body. What do you think Warden's gut reaction would be? Something over the body.
Or just
Horror.
like visibly taken aback by the visage of the thing.
Okay.
Would Elia know that Vokden is casting a silent image?
Let me look actually at this is actually something I should have checked what the components are of silent image, because if there's a verbal,
silent, and material.
somatic material. Okay, there would be some muttering of words right as it does happen. So I do think you could gather that there's something magical happening.
I wouldn't necessarily be trying to do it undercover.
Yeah, no, fair enough. It's more so just someone with no real magical knowledge would they know. I'm gonna say you can tell Elia that there is something magic going on here. You've seen magic before. And so then you do see this slightly distorted visage, this purplish skin, although it seems very dry and cracked. Tentacles hanging down over top of the woman's head. This long black flowing cloak that covers the majority of its body. But you do see one thing. There is a tip of something wooden sticking out of like near where like a pocket might be. And it looks like it could potentially be possibly a wand. Although you can't really tell, you can't see the whole thing, but that is what it looks like.
Is that a wand in your pocket?
And so that is what you see when the silent image is brought up, and your boss warden immediately starts scribbling down, just sketching to the best of his ability, which is, well, let's see, decently well actually. Creates a decent rendition of what this thing looks like. And he kind of turns back to the party. So you saw it. It was there. I don't see any tracks. It's loose in the city.
Consider
Warden
that it
is-
went that way.
That way.
Warden is then going to look at his boss and say, "Sir, permission to gather up some men and start a search party for it."
I think that would be best. Although, at the current moment, we have to now dispatch a lot of people onto convoys to escort them out of the city due to this threat. We may have to conscript help from outside, as much as I hate to do that. Going to literally turn to the party. Do you know anyone who would do my work for money?
You give Edna money. Edna do
Elia
anything
just-
you want.
Elia just points at Isaac.
Do you see Isaac?
Has Isaac been trying to hide?
The guards come, Isaac's just like, fuck no.
As much as I think that makes sense, I don't know if you specified it before, so I'm going off the assumption you were like somewhere in the vicinity.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, yeah, just make sure you specify if you do want to hide, and that's fine. And so kind of that. Well, seems like we have a few volunteers.
I think the most of us would.
All right. Well, then in that case, tomorrow, starting off about midday, give everyone some time to prepare, get rested. We'll get a small group together. I can spare probably an extra guard or two, along with this fellow here, pointing to Warden. And we can start searching for it. Good. We'll post some people around what we have to watch for it for the night, but tomorrow, I think. And he's going to kind of, you can tell he's a bit frazzled with this new situation. And he's going to kind of begin to walk off. And you are left there again. He said about midday the next day. You'd gather and you would begin the hunt. Is there anything anyone wants to do this night?
Yes.
Meditate.
Yes. Okay. Isaac, we'll start with you because I heard you first. What do you want to do?
Want to go to the guild?
The guild. Same meeting spot you found before?
Yes.
Okay. You did it.
Making sure nobody's following me.
Okay, make a perception check.
All right. Can I use my passive?
You can use your passive, yes.
16.
16? Okay. With 16, you do not see anyone following you. Anyone who might is currently preoccupied with the current threat or getting into new positions or something else. So tonight's not a bad night to do anything like this. It's good for criminals when there's massive threats. So you make your way there. You were just there recently. Not hard to find. You make your way to the meeting spot. There's no one there that you can see right off the bat with a 16.
Okay.
What do you do?
What did he say to do last time? Was it just to take a seat?
I don't know. You tell me. And so you're standing there, right? You're kind of just standing there.
Yeah.
Okay. And so as you're standing there thinking to yourself, oh, what was I supposed to do? You hear a string get pulled back from behind you. Almost like a crossbow string.
Oh no.
Announce yourself.
Jacob.
What do you want?
I'm looking to buy.
Looking to purchase.
Yes.
And a man's going to kind of, because are you still facing the other way, not looking?
Yes.
Okay. You're gonna see someone at the corner of your eye come around you. Large, heavy crossbow still aimed in your direction. Big man. Come this way. And he's gonna kind of
I'll follow him.
motion. And so
I'll follow.
he's going to walk you down a flight of stairs behind one of the pillars. Down the flight of stairs. There's left, there's right. And this is actually the perfect opportunity to use this shit. Give me like 2 seconds. I didn't think I'd need this.
Woo.
Where in the fuck? There it is. Okay, I think it was number 1. Yes. Oh my god. Okay. So as you walk, you reach this room with a door at the end. And he stops and kind of motions toward it. Through there.
I would like to walk through the door.
Okay, you walk through the door. And as you walk through, the ceiling, it almost drips with this condensation from boiling cauldrons and potions brewing on tables around the room. Various people of various races and societal classes. On the left, a small Aarakocra man could be mistaken for a Kenku if it weren't the arguing he appears to be doing with a customer over the price of his wares. He's selling various odds and ends that appear to be related to alchemy, such as various body parts and jars of strange liquid. Some still moving, such as an eye that never quite stops following you as you walk. On the right, down a little ways, a full-blooded orc. He raises his hand high above his head and brings it down hard and fast, cutting the head off a large boar with a great boom of the cleaver. He appears to watch all those around him with an eye of suspicion, apprehensiveness, and the folks with the nicer clothes, disgust. On the far side seems to be a very, very jovial woman, long blonde hair and a fair complexion. She's selling various tools and armor, firearms being among them. And you can hear her bargaining on the price of a repeating rifle. So what are you looking for?
So I'm looking for something that might paralyze, because I have no
Paralyze.
spells. So I'm
Okay.
hoping there's some spell scrolls or something here.
Spell scrolls, that could work. Make me actually a real quick, because if you're looking for something for paralysis, make me a intelligence check, actually. Just flat intelligence check.
Boy, that's a 6.
6. Okay. You have heard of magics that can do something like this. You wouldn't be necessarily familiar with them. But you've heard rumors of things. You've been around people that have magical attunement. So, the best place to probably look would be on the left side as well. A couple down from the man selling alchemy supplies. There seems to be someone who selling various books and things, and there look to be a couple scrolls as well. You could check there, as well as there seems to be someone else who it advertises for enchantment work, so you could check there as well, see if they have possibly some scrolls. But those are really the only two you see.
Okay. I'll go to the first one,
The first one.
not the enchantment. Yep.
Okay. You go up and it's this little old lady with these little glasses at the end of her nose, and there's just piles and piles and piles of books stacked up almost to the ceiling around her, much taller than her, and she seems to be reading through a scroll as you approach. And you approach, she kind of looks up from her scroll. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic, darling. What can I do for you today?
So I'm looking for something that might help me paralyze someone or something.
Oh no, you're not planning on, and she kind of rolls her scroll up. You're not planning on doing anything illegal, are you?
Oh no, not at all.
Well, then
Not
I'm
at
not
all.
giving you anything. Why are you
That's
here?
fair.
If you're not doing anything illegal, this is the black market.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yes, all right, but good looking out and saying no. Good. Be more convincing next time. And so she kind of is going to look through a couple of her books, and she flips through a book, and a couple like cards fall out. They almost look like playing cards, but you can tell they have many different things scribbled on them. So paralyzed in what form? Like you just flick it at them and it paralyzes? Like what are you? One person? Many people? What are you looking for?
One person,
One
like
person.
a one person thing.
Okay.
I don't really care how it paralyzes them as long as it paralyzes them.
Okay. She's gonna kind of nod and look through this book, and she pulls out a card. Not again, not a playing card, more like a tarot card. She pulls it out and is going to set it on this small table in front of her. I think this one should do what you're looking for. Temporary paralysis. It'll be a short time. It isn't as effective as generalized magic, but it can do the job if you are someone who is not magically inclined.
Okay. How much for it?
For this, I'm going to have to say about 15 gold pieces.
15.
15, it's not cheap. It's not cheap to make.
All right.
Plus, you are in the black market, so you're also paying for my secrecy.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, 15's fine.
15? And she'll pass one over to you. And with it, she's going to put another small card on there as well. And that's in case you accidentally use it on yourself. It'll eliminate the effects. Just of this card, though.
Oh, cool.
Anything else?
Thank you. Nope, that's all. Thank you.
And she'll kind of go back to reading her scroll. You now have in your possession a one-time use hold person. You might want to write down the DC. Let me just look here. This hold person is a save. It's a wisdom save. I'm going to say it's going to be a DC. It's normally proficiency plus the modifier. I'm going to give it a DC 14. You guys are level 3. It's a decent DC for what you'll be going up against. So a DC 14 wisdom save.
Okay.
And so there you go.
And
again,
Isaac's gonna head back to
Apologies, what? You're going back to
the tavern.
Tavern, okay.
Or wherever we were.
Yeah, it was a tavern. I don't think I ever gave it a name, and if I do, honestly, I don't remember. It's been many weeks, and that was the one detail I didn't write down.
Many moons.
Yeah, it has. Okay, so you head back. there was a conversation. Two people wanted to have. Lucia, Elia, I believe there was a conversation you guys wanted to have. Do you want to do that now or another time? It's up to you.
I'll need a reminder of what the conversation was about. It should be in DMs.
Elia had stated interest in certain scars that he had.
Yes, I remember.
Aha. Right. So feel free. Do you guys want to be up in your room for this, or where do you want to be?
Sure.
Up in the room. Okay. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
Elia, being visibly injured and needing sleep, will sort of begin to meditate. And as she does, she'll offer a sort of seat on the floor next to her for Lucia to sit and join her in meditation.
He'd sit.
So, do you remember how this works then, Lucia?
Meditating.
Yeah,
It was only earlier this morning. Of course I still
exactly.
remember.
Then let's get to it, shall we?
There was something that you wanted in return for teaching me this.
Yes, that's correct. About those, and she'll sort of like iffily point to where she saw the scars on Lucia, and she'll sort of the scars that you have. You were going to tell me where they're from, weren't you?
Right. That. It was 2 years ago, I think. No. Terrible people. They wanted me dead at first, but decided instead they'd rather keep me, get information. So, just kind of does this. Most of these are from that. Be here for the time with this man. But you were interested in specific scars, weren't you?
Yeah. Scars similar to this one, and she'll sort of pull her shirt down to the sort of back of her shoulder where she has a large sort of needle wound, quite fresh.
There was one thing that I specifically remember from that. When it came to similar things to that one. This greenish liquid that would be injected to people. It was used as torture of a sort, really. Terrible visions and things. It was quite painful.
And was this all done by the one man?
For the most part, yes.
Could you describe this man for me again?
And they'll do so. I will have Josh do that, because I don't remember if
Okay.
I even know what this dude looks like.
I can give a brief description because I know for Lucia in particular, he wouldn't have seen him as much for other reasons. But okay. Human man. He appears to be a human man, sort of balding, brownish hair going into white. either his glasses around his neck, sort of that librarian tassel around the neck, or on him. Always wore a white, very clean, very pristine, ironed lab coat. It almost looked like, and that's how you would have always seen him.
So he'd give the description.
And upon the description being received, Elia will immediately recognise it as the guy from her dream.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll sort of, she'll hold onto her shoulder where her scar is, and she'll sort of nod along and say, I recognise him. I believe he gave me a visit recently. Serial note taker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shush. Do you remember what happened when you were outside the tavern before we left?
No.
We found you out there.
All I remember from that night is waking up in the street. He came to me in a dream, was the first that I saw him.
I don't remember
Hmm.
what was said about this. I want to make sure. If Lucia were to make a medical check, could he, or if he had already done, because I don't remember if he did, try to figure out the time frame in which these marks appeared on Elia?
I believe you already did the last session, and it did line up with that night. Your best guess, from the rate of healing, it did look like the time frame of when you were in the tavern.
Mm. I do think that we have a problem with the same person. There was something outside when we found you, but I don't know where it went. But it was this pocket watch that I saw him have. I thought it was his. But then it was gone. I didn't get to get a closer look.
Elia will sort of pat herself down and say, I do not have it, if that's what you're trying to get at.
I wasn't accusing. I just wanted to mention that it was something. Do you have any other questions?
That was all that I had in mind. I guess next we've got to figure out some way of dealing with the problem.
I think I know some people that he would be related to in some ways.
Are you suggesting we kidnap his loved ones?
I don't mean related like that. I meant working with.
Ah.
I wouldn't condone kidnapping anyone.
Me neither. And she'll sort of give a half-truth, like, nod.
If we were to find him, what would you want to do with that anyways?
figure out why he did what he did, what exactly he did, and try and find a way to solve it, both for us and for anyone in the potential future.
Well, if it continues to be something that may be fish in my own path, I don't mind helping where I can. I do rather dislike him after what he did. You should rest.
Yeah, I need it. And then she'll go into a 4-hour meditation.
Okay. You meditate. Lucia, do you join for a bit or do you go to your room?
He doesn't leave the room because I'm more than sure dude didn't even pay for a room for himself.
I'm going to be entirely honest. That is a detail I had forgotten.
Pretty sure he didn't.
Okay.
But he's just going to find himself a spot on the floor in there and fall asleep there.
That works.
There is a bed you can take.
He knows
Elia
this.
is happy meditating on the floor.
He knows this.
Okay. And so, two of you take your night. Anyone else, anything you'd like to do in this night? If not, we'll go into tomorrow and the beginning of the hunt. No? Okay. And so, after you all take your rest for the night, for some of you, pleasant dreams find you some bad ones. And for one of you, none, because you can't do that. And so you take your rest. Back up to full HP and all that fun stuff. And in the morning, the tavern's quite empty. There has just been a murder directly outside it. Most people don't want to stay, and most people packed up that night and left. And so after waking, getting breakfast, if you will, making your way toward you weren't really told of a meeting place. In his frazzled state, the guy you were speaking to neglected to give it. However, from where you are at the tavern, you can see the guard station. So that would be, and you can see there are some people gathering outside. So it's reasonable to think that might be where to gather. And so, do you all make your way there?
Yes.
Okay.
Just gonna run towards it like a cryptid.
Literally, you blink, Elia's there. Elia's just there. Some of the guards are like, where did you come from? And
it's like Quicksilver, there's papers like flying around where I've just zoomed in from.
Exactly. And Warden, you would be someone who would already be there, being among this group of guard. You would already be there and see this thing rocket toward you and then stop. And then you notice it's one of the people from the night before. The others kind of slow, much more casually trailing behind. And your captain is standing next to you, kind of just surveying this group. They were able to get a couple other people to actually come help with this little endeavor. There is a half-orc man, got a couple swords on his hip, very pirate-esque, and he volunteered for pay. And then one other person volunteered. And I'm going to get, I actually have a Hero Forge mini created for them, and I'm going to grab that real quick because I want to show them off.
Could we try and find Deadlock and see if he wants in?
You definitely could. You could find the wanted criminal and get him with the guard desk. Yeah, no, you can 100% do that.
You just put him in some sunglasses and a hat.
Oh my God.
Is it who I think it is, Josh?
Yeah, it's who you think it is. Give me like 2 seconds. I'm loading it up and copying the link now. I'm gonna put it in fucking thing. Art chat, because that's probably the best place for it, honestly. You see this 7 to 8 foot tall Warforged. He's wearing this wide brimmed hat, not too dissimilar from Deadlock's. He's missing an eye, the other one, a deep red with a monocle over it, of all things. On his back, a massive greatsword that has a split down the middle for who knows what purpose. A giant shotgun, double barrel shotgun on one hip, a magnum on the other. And in his hand, he's toting a minigun. This man is kitted out to the teeth for who knows what purpose. But the most distinguishing feature, he has a copper mustache. He has a solid metal mustache made of copper across his upper lip. And he kind of just stands there leaning against a post. So those two and then your group show up. And then there is a couple of the other normal guard that are able to come with as well. They were the only ones really able to be spared other than Warden. But it's a pretty big task. They didn't know how many people they'd need. They've never faced anything like this. And so your group is there. And after a moment, once everyone's there, the captain speaks. All right. So the Ladia, we gotta find this thing, whatever we want to call it. This tentacled freak. It's somewhere in the city. We gotta look for tracks, anything. We did find a slight blood trail leading from where the body was, so we can use that as our first clue. And from there, we can maybe find out where it's hiding. And if it has any connection to that ship that came down, that seems to be the consensus in town, then we can maybe go investigate that as well. You'll, of course, be compensated for your work. Those of you who aren't already on the payroll, looking toward Ward, and the other two guard, you'll get paid overtime. And let's get this thing. And he kind of claps hands together and then turns around and walks the other way.
Hoorah.
As Warden, you have been put in charge of this. And so the first thing to check out, you would have been told, Warden, that night, first thing, again, there's that blood trail back toward where the body was. And that would have been what he said was the first thing to check out. But the question is that what the group wants to check? You're in charge. You guys are leading this as a group.
Roughly how far away was that ship?
The ship, you wouldn't know an exact distance. It's got to be at least a couple miles off, because it was a decently far distance when it was still in the air, and it was going down. So it's got to be a couple miles off in the desert.
So it'll take about a minute to get there then?
For you, maybe. But I just listen, trust me, you don't want to go alone. It's dangerous to go alone. Take the whole fucking party. Yeah. So there's that. But yeah, the ship, that is a good question. It is a couple miles off. But you would have a general idea of about where it would be, just from distance. But yes, so what do you want to do? What's the first thing you want to check out in your hunt for this creature?
Well, I know what Warden would say. He would very much so want to start at the scene of the crime and then look for evidence, searching out from there. So he would be going towards the blood spot, but I'm very unimportant here.
This is true. You guys are the main party. Warden is, I'm sorry, Brant, glorified NPC.
Correct.
So you're a guest. So if there's anyone else who has any ideas of ways to possibly find this thing other than following a possible blood trail, you can give.
Excellent. So I think Vokden would pipe up at this point. So there's no point in starting at the scene of the crime. He's clearly covered his tracks. There were no tracks beforehand. If you remember, the other guard had mentioned that. I say we start as far away as possible. He's clearly ran. He's had a whole day ahead of time to move. We ask around. We see what we can find, what other people have seen. This is no normal creature. He's going to draw attention. We start far away and we move closer.
Have you ever actually solved a crime?
That's irrelevant.
It's very relevant. You see, that is my entire career.
Have you ever caused a crime?
That is irrelevant. Put yourself in a feared creature's shoes. Where would you be at this moment? Would you be anywhere near the crime?
Well, they left a perfectly good tasting body, so I would have at least picked it up and took it with me. If I was in this creature's shoes. If they have shoes.
I believe he does not, because remember, it left no trail before. We searched for, I remember a god mentioning footprints not being found.
That doesn't mean it doesn't have shoes. That's not a very good logical jump. It just means that it didn't walk away. Doesn't mean it doesn't have shoes, doesn't mean it doesn't have feet. Might hover, fly, something of the sort. We don't entirely know this creature's abilities, but it seems to have been interrupted in whatever it was trying to do to that woman. And so it left a trail. It fucked up. And so we should use that fuck up to our advantage rather than just abandon it.
All right, let's see if we can follow the trail after an entire day. I'm more than welcome to find some amusement in this.
Could Elia, being the speed demon that she is, like basically just run around the entire city or town and see if she spots anything?
Just going around the perimeter?
Just around everywhere, like trying to cover everything.
I'm going to say you probably could, but the faster you go, the harder it's going to be to actually spot anything. So about what speed are you trying to go? Just give me like a feet per round kind of thing, and then I'll tell you about how long it would take.
Probably about 300.
300. I'm going to say make me a perception check. Disadvantage.
Could I use my passive?
You can. What's your passive?
16.
16. I'm going to say going 300 feet per round. I honestly, you're not going to see shit. You start running 300 feet per round per 6 seconds, just zooming around the perimeter of this town. Nothing out of the ordinary catches your eye. You haven't spent long in the town. You don't really know what the outside of the town normally would look like, but just kind of doing a quick sweep, nothing immediately catches your eye. The only thing I will say is you almost run into a caravan guarded by some of the guards that are making their way out of town. You almost slam directly into the side of one of the carts and kind of out of the way, last second, keep going. And you hear someone go, "What the fuck?" as they trail off. But yeah, they're making their way in toward the desert.
Yeah, she'll once she's done that, she'll come back and it'll have been like a minute, probably less than a minute.
Probably going that fast. It's not a very big town. I'm gonna say you're probably a minute.
Yeah, she'll just sort of like snap back and say nothing out of the ordinary. It seemed going around the perimeter for a quick check. So, as Vokden has said, this creature has made an effort to cover its bases.
The large Warforged man is going to kind of saunter up to the group. Well, I don't completely disagree. It could be somewhere out there. I can head out with my buddy here, pointing to the half-orc, and we can check on the outside. If you guys want to check the trail, check around town, we can watch the outside and make sure it don't leave if it's still here. And if not, well, at least we'll know it's not here. And we can check elsewhere. And if I say...
Give it a nod.
Oh, good.
Sorry, I give a nod. I seem to agree with this idea.
Gotcha. And if we see it, well, it won't have a head no more, I can tell you that. Kind of cocking the the gun, one of many. I'll take it if we see it. And they'll begin to walk toward one of them you can see going one way, one the other way, toward what you would have seen Elia kind of heading in the direction of one of the two major exits of town. You have the one where you almost slammed into a cart, and then one more to the north. And so each of them seem to be heading in that general direction. And so there was interest in the trail.
An idea.
Yes.
Edna can wild shape into a bird of some kind. Give us a bird's eye view.
Bird's eye view. Okay. Do it. What kind of bird you turn it into?
That depends on what you let me turn into. Because I'm assuming she's seen a hawk in her life.
As long as it falls within your general rules, I'll pretty much. You've spent a lot of time in the woods. As long as it falls within the general rules of what you can or can't, I'll let you.
Cool. She's gonna be a hawk. She has 60 feet of fly movement.
Mm-hmm.
She can be a hawk for an hour.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that's plenty. Okay. And so you see this big burly Edna, bear of a woman, turn into a hawk and fly up. And you just kind of want to do.
Before she flies up, I'm going to check in the air. And then go.
Okay. And so you fly up in the air. And you just want to do like a circle of the city, or what do you want to do?
I think like a low circle.
Low circle?
So she can see a bit more things. It's a passive perception of 14. If you want me to do a check, I can do a check.
Do a check, unless you want to use your passive, but do a check.
As Edna flies off at 60 feet per round, Elia will just sort of look and go, oh, nearly fast as me.
Jeez. Listen, just because your speed is pretty. What was that?
Depending on what she transforms into, she can have some busted speed.
Yeah.
So that's a 23 for perception.
23. With a 23 and doing a low circle as well, you begin to make your way almost to the complete opposite end of town from where the body was found. But you do see, in one of the alleyways, something moving. And it's moving slowly, kind of peeks around a corner, and it seems to be wearing a black hood. You can't see any facial features. You'd have to get closer. You can if you want to. But it's just a black robed figure.
Interesting.
Or you can go back, whatever you'd like to do.
How far away is this from where I see this person?
How far away is
the party?
The party.
Compared to where I see this person.
It's about again on the other side of town. I don't know an exact distance-wise, but I will say it's probably about at 60 feet. 60 feet. You could get back in. Oh, just going to loop was about a minute at 300. I'm going to say it'd probably take you about 45 seconds.
Cool.
2 minutes, somewhere in there.
Edna's going to take note of the location and fly back to the party and inform them that there's a strange hooded figure in a back alley, and she's going to give chase, whether they follow her or not.
Still in bird form?
Did you...
Well, no, she has to get out of bird form.
Get out, then. Right, but then do you pop back in and then go that way, or on foot?
She's going to go on foot.
On foot, okay, just for speed and everything. Okay, cool.
Did you come up with
2 charges in one shoot, so...
Did you come up with the rules for the ram?
No, so here's what I'm going to say. We're going to kind of like fall damage, okay?
Okay.
It's going to basically work like this. For every... If you were to dash, just regular dash in that weird form, what would be your speed?
Just one dash in my thingy form.
Yeah.
65. So 65 doubled and then doubled again. So
God. Okay, if it is over, if it is that or over, that speed or over, it's not going to increase with speed. It's just going to be that speed or over. For now, we'll go based on like fall speed. So if you move over 20 feet, every extra 10 feet is a d6. It's not exactly how fall speed works, but I think that's fair. We'll tweak it here and there, but yeah.
So 260 feet if I was dashing in my weird form.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if it's that or over. Also, Aaron, I think I might be echoing out of yours. Do you mind just muting for a minute? Thank you. Yeah, just over that or over. Go 20 feet, no damage. Then every 10 feet after is an extra d6.
Alright, cool.
Cool.
Is that for both of us or just for me?
For both. I
So
see
me
what
and
you're
the
saying.
target.
That would be to them. You'd take half.
Okay. In that case, then she's going to get a running start by looping around the town and then going to the location.
Of God. I'm going to say straight line. I'm going to treat it how charge works for like war horses. It's got to be a straight line.
Okay.
So, cool. With that, who all follows? Edna comes back with this knowledge, says they see some kind of figure, could be something sketchy. Who follows?
So they did she specify the other end of town?
I don't know. Aaron, did you specify other end of town or? I don't recall.
I meant to.
Meant to? We can say you did. We can say you did. You specify the other end of town, and then you just started running. So there you go.
I like to imagine I just kind of smirk and push past Warren, just a little cocky.
Oh God, you two are not gonna get along. This is perfect. Okay, so yeah, so you push past and go.
Not enough to not like, you know what I mean. Just enough to be annoying.
A cocky bastard. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know, you hear me.
Warden's gonna give him a look, because it doesn't prove anything, and then going to follow because he sees that the rest of the group's starting to go.
Okay.
Isaac's gonna stay at the back of the group.
Back of the group. Okay. Perfect. So I believe that's everyone then. Lucia, where would you place yourself here in this marching order? I'm curious. Because I kind of have an idea in my head of the order of everyone else. Or where everyone else is. What about you? Front, back, middle?
Somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle. Okay. Alrighty. So, you all go. You go and you start to make your way over toward, well, following Edna, really. And Edna, you remember where it is from your bird's eye view, kind of remembering in your head about where to go. And you get there, and you don't see anything because they were moving. But you kind of were able to gauge the direction they were going. Make me a perception or investigation check. I'll give you a choice.
We'll go perception, I guess.
Perception? Okay, perception check.
No. It's going to be a 3.
A 3. And so, out of the corner of your eye, you think you see something to the right. But then you think you see something to the left. And by the time you look either direction, you look to the right again, look to the left again. Gone. Don't really see anything else. But you could pursue one of the ways. Or if anyone else would like to, because you've seen Edna stop, look around. Anyone want to do anything?
Upon arriving, Warden would start to investigate, looking for signs of any movement.
Go ahead and roll for that. Anyone else want to do it? You can give help action if you'd like.
I'll give help action.
Help action. Okay, so then roll with advantage, Brent.
Oh, sweet. 25.
Mother of God, and this was investigation, correct?
Yeah, that's investigation.
Yeah, I figured. And so you start to look around, and while you don't see any footprints, no footprints at all except your own, you do see handprints on the wall. These long, almost look like fingers, but they're way longer than they should be. And there's 3 of them, and then what looks like a thumb, printed on the wall in very light blood. It almost seems like whatever meal they'd had the day previous, there was some left on their hands, and they seem to be leaving a bit of a trail. And so you do see, after looking at that, to the left, it's sort of like a Y almost. You came down this way, it splits off and then goes up. You can see one to the left.
All right.
I will be casting comprehend languages, by the way.
Okay. Fair enough. And so you go to the... You said you go to the left? Okay. And so, Warden, you start going. And...
Slowly gun drawn.
Slowly gun drawn. Okay. And so the rest of you see this gun comes out, going slowly to the left. Rest of you follow? Okay. And as you go, this is a very long alley. This one seems to go behind a couple stretches of building. And it doesn't seem like there's any split off in the center. And right near the end of it, what you can see to be a street on the other side, right before there, you see it standing there, and it looks over its shoulder. You see this, again, just this string of tentacles that come down, grayish purple, very cracked and dry. This is probably 60 feet away.
Excellent.
And so, yes, Edna.
And can I act now?
I'm going to give everyone, and I'm going to go in the order that I see you on my screen, starting with Edna. I will give you all one sort of round to do something if you'd like. You get 1 action, 1 bonus action, 1 movement. Edna, you're up first. And then we'll roll initiative after.
You double check.
Oh, and I apologize. What is Aaron? The name of the person you're with currently. What is their name?
Oh, they've left.
They've left. Darn. I get to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They left about 20 minutes ago because they said they were bored.
Fair enough. Not a lot was happening. So I don't blame them.
Is what it is.
But hey,
Dang,
that's my turn.
I can't get to working.
Wow.
If you would like
Wild
to...
shape takes an action, which
Okay.
sucks.
Okay.
That's what I was going to do, but it takes an action to do it.
Gotcha.
Because the initial plan was turn into a horse and charge the motherfucker.
Jesus Christ. Smart idea. You can... you don't have to do anything if you don't want to. If you have no ideas, you can skip.
Oh, no, I'm going to do something.
Okay.
What's the range on?
Love that question. What's the range on that?
$15 feet. Unfortunately. I'll move 30 feet towards them and cast Thorn Whip, I guess.
Thorn Whip.
There's not much else to do.
Okay. Anything they have to do on that, or is that just a roll to hit?
That's a roll to hit.
Okay, cool.
Say 17 to hit.
17 to hit. Just a minute. That will hit.
Badass.
And so, let's see the damage.
4.
4. Okay. I need a pencil. Oh, we use this. That works. Okay. And so this thorn whip, this rope of vines and spikes come out of your hand, and it zips toward them and slashes at them. They don't seem to like that very much. They let out this like really guttural, very just deep a bunch of hissing. Really, it's not language, and Vokden comprehend languages. You don't get anything from that. It's literally just them screaming. They did not like that. So far,
Also,
cool.
is the creature large or smaller?
No, they are medium.
They're smaller than
Oh,
large.
sorry, I was thinking opposite. Yes, they are smaller than large. Yeah.
Yeah. They have been pulled 10 feet closer.
Ooh, putting them. Very nice. And so it like wraps around their arm and yanks them, and they kind of almost stumble on nothing. And yeah, they're 50 feet now. Okay, cool. Anything else you want to do? No, is that everything, or do you still have bonus? I think
That is Edna's turn.
okay. Elia, you'd be up next.
As they get pulled 10 feet closer, Elia has charged and, almost like a baseball bat with her quarterstaff, swings it into their face.
Ooh, roll the head.
That is a crit.
Oh,
9
shit.
damage.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, 9 damage. God. Wait a minute. Is that that's before doubling, right?
Oh shit, I didn't do the doubling thing.
Yeah, because we double the
What?
full. So it'd be 4, 1. Oh, no, because that's each, so...
So it's 1d8 plus 4 damage normally.
Yeah, 1d8 plus 4. So we'll just take the first number. So, because that would have been the 1. So it'll be 4 plus 4, 8, 16. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So 16. Okay. Anything else you want to do? Can do.
Yeah, flurry of blows.
Flurry blows. Yep, I see that here. Okay. Flurry blows that bitch. Goddamn monks. Monks. I swear.
Another
my
crit.
God, you have Draconic. Oh my god! And I know it's legit because it's on a fucking dice bot. This can't be.
Yeah.
It can't be faked. Okay, so then that would be, and it's Draconic
So
Strike.
Another 16 damage.
Yeah, another 16 damage, and then another 8 damage.
Holy
And that
shit.
will be... What damage do I want to deal today?
Yeah, do let me know.
I'm gonna say fire damage,
Fire
since
damage.
it's my go-to for Draconic Strike.
And is that both? Is that both attacks?
Yeah, both are fire damage.
Okay. So you, oh my god, you sprint up, flash, whoosh, whack with the quarterstaff. Its head snaps to the one side, bringing the one hand up. It lights on fire. Wham! Another fist, boom, and just these flaming fists of fury slamming into this thing. It's not happy.
This is the thing we were chasing after, right? It's not just
Yes.
a random person on the street.
No, it is not a random dude. It does have the tentacles. It is exactly.
It wasn't like
it's just
explicitly
Warden's
specified,
boss.
so I was like a little scared.
No, you're good. You're good, my dude.
Fuck yeah!
That's very funny.
Get the shit out of Wooden's boss. Let's go.
Oh my god. Warden
him.
starts shooting. Police
Kill him now.
brutality. Yeah. Okay. You said that's Eli's turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, yeah, it'd be over to Lucia. You'd be next.
Fairy fire.
Fairy fire. Okay. What is the range?
60 feet.
And it's a 20-foot cube?
Yep.
Okay, with your current distance without moving, you could... I'm guessing you're trying to not get a lie in this.
Yes.
Okay, I figured. So then you can do that. They have to make a dex save. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. It's a saving throw that would apply. Okay. They will have advantage on this due to an ability. That is going to be... It's a deck save.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be a 13.
They fail.
They fail. So, what color? What color do they start to glow?
Violet.
Okay. Yes, music. How did I forget? Thank you in the chat. Nope, not that. No, hold on. This is not good combat music. Give me a second. I have combat music. Nope, that's not good combat music for this either.
Just play Imperial March.
I wish I could. Let me just turn
Oh yeah,
this
because
down.
YouTube will strike it, won't it?
God, fucking everywhere will strike that shit. I get struck into oblivion. There we go.
Hey, you're finally awake.
Oh no!
No.
Okay, so, apologies, where were we? Fairy Fire. They start to glow, and any attacks against them while Fairy Fire is in effect will have advantage. So that's cool.
And then
anything
he's
else?
going to move forward his, well, not his full, but 30 feet, so that he's within 20.
20. Okay. Okay.
That is all for now.
Alright, so up next would be Warden. What the fuck are you doing?
Well, I think Warden, upon seeing it positively identified as the thing that was hovering over a corpse, honestly, I think he's gonna try to. He is gonna try to just take it down because the fighting's already started.
Hey, Brant.
Any attempt at de-escalation, yeah,
You know that gun you had?
yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, you still have it.
Oh, yeah.
Do it, my bro. Do it.
Excellent.
God, I miss
Okay,
that
well.
word.
Oh, this is great.
Yep.
And so he's going to go ahead and he's going to move up 40 feet due to the fact it's first turn of combat, ish, kind of. And
Yeah.
so he's going to move his 40 feet and he's going to make 3 attacks because he can do that on first turn.
Fucking do it, bro.
All right, first one's going to be a 24 to hit.
25. Shot it.
Second one is no, he's not that subclass, so that doesn't matter. But that's a 19 on the dice for a total of
Yeah.
31.
So, say no more. Yes.
And then last one,
Uh-huh.
he's going to go ahead and burn a grit point.
Oh, fuck, you did have those. God, I love taking a character that I forgot all the shit they had and say,
And
hey,
do
put me
a
here.
violent shot.
Violet. Oh, shit. Fuck it, man. Do it.
Holy shit. But I think that one's going to miss because
Oh.
that was a 3 and then a 1 for a total of 15 with advantage.
That will. Yeah.
You know what
But-
happens.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
And so he's then going to redirect that shot.
Mhm.
Would you say that he has to put another grit point into it, or would the grit point on that shot still count as it rips around?
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Shouldn't have allowed it.
I know. I know. I can't help it, dude.
That one went out. Gonna go ahead and roll a different. That is a d20.
Mhm. Oh shit. Yep. No, I believe it. All right.
I
buddy.
don't care.
Yeah,
I'm
send
sending.
it. Send it. Ah. I promise you, it's not dead yet. Okay. We'll see. I shouldn't say that until the until the damage has been done, and then we'll see.
So is that?
Oh, nice dice. I have those dice. That's the same type of dice that I have that Thodin kept rolling really good with. That's his set. Yeah. Literally constant crits, but
Right.
only on charisma related checks. He has like no plus to charisma. He's just really lucky.
All right, so first one's going to be 12 piercing.
Okay.
Second one's going to be 17. 7 plus 4 plus 6 is 17, yes?
7 plus 4. Yes.
Perfect. And then last one, which is the critical hit.
Oh, God.
It's not a great roll, but it's better than all the others.
Yeah, fair enough.
54 damage.
Okay, give me 2 secs. Let's do some quick math here. Hold on.
Just wiped him out.
Okay. Here's what happens.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
And so, that is a good way of putting it. And so you go, bam, 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 shit, I missed. Pow, comes around the back, blows its chest out. Thing drops to its knees. Dead. But, out of its chest drops this object. At the current distance, to really get a view, especially because it falls over on top of it, you would have to get closer. But it seems like something fell out of its open chest cavity, landing next to it, just out of view from the current distance. The only person, actually, I take that back. There is one person who is up there and would see it. Elia.
What is it?
Out of its chest drops this.
It's a holy hand grenade.
It's not a whole thing. It almost looks like it would be a necklace. It's got the chain and everything. And it falls onto the ground. And it has a pendant that appears to have a face similar to what it has. But its sort of tentacles are all furled outward. And it appears to be made of some kind of silverish metal, although you can't really identify exactly. It just looks like silver.
If she picks it up, will anything happen to her?
Are you going to pick it up?
She will pick it up. Can she pick it up with the end of a quarterstaff to like sort of bring it closer and have a look at it without actually touching it?
You can. What about the rest of you as this is happening?
Well, I haven't made a turn yet.
You have not. I mean, you still can.
So I wanted to try to use my catapult to pull it towards me.
I mean, it's dead on the ground. You can still do that with its corpse. Now, I mean, it is now technically an object.
No, I meant the necklace, not it.
The necklace.
Yes, I
From
wanted
where
to pull the
you
necklace.
would be, you would not be able to see it. The only reason Elia can is because Elia is right up there.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, Elia was like right up to the thing. Within 5 feet, you'd still be back with the party.
Okay.
You can get closer. But by that point, Elia would have already had it up on the quarterstaff, which you can then see it from there.
Well, that's fine. My actually, my attention was drawn towards something else. I was going to do something when I had a turn, but I think I'm going to walk up and... Didn't you say there was like a wooden wand in its pocket?
The other one there was. This one you hadn't seen yet.
Oh, it's a new one.
Yeah.
There are multiple.
Well, that's incorrect because it is the same one. But from the angle it would be at, you would not be able to see. Because when you were seeing the image, it was the front of it, with the cloak kind of pulled back a little bit. As it was kneeling, this is now laid face down.
So I was just going to check in its pocket, like feel around.
You can. Any of you. Again, you want to go up to it then and check it?
Yes.
Okay. So then go up, make an investigation, and while that's happening, Elia, so you pick it up as Vokden's approaching, and nothing happens when you pick it up with quarterstaff.
Okay, 19.
19. Okay, I'll get to that in a second then.
Could I make either a history or an arcana check.
I will allow you to do either. I think those are both good ones. Which one are you?
Both my
saying?
modifiers are +0.
Oh, okay. Then whichever it really, just whichever one you do will determine what information you get.
Arcana, fuck it. I got a nat 1.
That one, you look at it, it looks like this thing's face. That's for sure.
Can she put it on?
Oh, you want to?
Oh, God.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Art, so you put it on?
It's like lycanthropy, but she turns fugly with tentacles.
And so
Can
Yeah.
Warden say something before this happens? Is just a general gun still kind of pointed at this thing's dead face.
Okay.
He would generally advise against touching stuff without moving to stop them in any reasonable shape or form. Just, it's weird. It's not from here. Don't know what it might have.
Okay.
You guys are gonna listen to a cop?
Do you say that? Do you say that?
Elia's just going to sort of look at Warden and say, I can't see that there's anything wrong with it. And if there is something wrong with it, touching it will tell me.
Warden will
she
then
just
shrug.
puts it off.
All right.
Okay.
Lucia will
One
he'll approach.
Okay. I do want to get Vokden real quick. What do you find? So, 19. You do find the wand. It is made of a dark, almost grayish brown wood, sort of twisted, looking like almost dead vines around it. And there's a small crystal in the back. A lot of wands tend to have some kind of crystal to channel the magic through it. And you do see small runes engraved on the side of it, just magical runes. That's all they really are. And the crystal appears black, possibly some kind of black opal, although that's just a guess. Other than that, you really don't find anything. No coin purse, nothing identifying. It's just the wand. That's it.
Find a wallet with an ID picture in it.
Jerry!
This was Michael Spielberg.
Right. But yeah, so that's all you find, Vokden. I wish there was more with a good roll like that, but that's all you find. The only other thing was that necklace, which is now around Elia's neck. Nothing happens, Elia, by the way.
Thank fuck.
Speaking of that,
Yes.
Lucia's gonna look at Elia. Do you mind if I see that for a moment?
If you want to touch it and potentially get something, then feel free.
Okay.
Do you try to take it off to give to Lucia, or what do you do?
I'm just gonna keep it like she's gonna keep it around her neck.
Okay.
And sort of like go like that.
Just
and-
kind of hold it out. Okay. I just
Yeah.
mental image, all that. Yeah. Okay.
That is gonna make this so much weirder what he's about to do.
Oh, I know what you're about to do. Do it. Just describe it, please. Say what you do.
So he takes hold of it, leans close, and licks it.
Oh yeah.
Casting
Elia will
Identify as he does so.
slowly pat Lucia's head.
Uh-huh. This is a thing. We talked about this because it was in a different context, the context of alchemy and the materials, and now it's a thing. So we are fuck. And you are using a spell slot for this, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold
Where did my
on.
pencil go?
Give me a brief moment. I mean, it's already around your neck, so what I'm about to say, it doesn't really change anything. So you give it a good old lick, Lucia, and it tastes like... It's weird, because it at first kind of tastes like nothing, but it's sort of like when you have something with a lot of aromatics, you breathe in, and almost across your tongue, it has this slight burning sensation. It's not pleasant. The taste is like if you licked sewage. It's not very good. So, it is cursed. Elia can't take it off. That seems to really be the only curse present. It is more a measure to keep whatever it is wearing it. Other than that, it really does not have any other magical properties. It is just enchanted to keep the wearer wearing it. That's it.
Elia is either about to meet God or become him.
Well, yeah. And so,
Lucia just kind of pats Elia's shoulder. Oh, you're not getting that off, I can say that much.
I didn't expect to.
in fact, this is quite advantageous.
And she sort of looks down and she's like, does it match my outfit?
Does it?
It does quite nicely, actually. Quite nicely. The color really does complement the outfit.
Yes, actually. And then Warden is going to continue kind of writing stuff in a notepad.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. Yep. Nope, I know.
Elia will sort of look to Warden and be like, you didn't need this for evidence, did you?
You're probably going to have to come down to the station for that to get taken a look at. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Okay. And after a few moments, you do see the body that was sitting there. You see it start to sag a bit, as if the clothing is lowering to the ground, and as you look, it seems to be crumbling into dust.
Old Ben?
Warden 100% almost shoots it.
Soon starts with a bang. But it starts to crumble into dust. Its cracked skin drying out even more, and it just crumbles onto the ground until all that's left is the cloak.
That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Edna's going to take the cloak.
What's you say again?
Edna's taking the cloak.
Edna's taking the cloak. Okay, Edna, you put it on. It actually fits you quite well. This being was quite tall, not very large, but tall, and so it is quite flowing. It fits you better than it fit it. So there you go.
I never said I was going to put it on, but I'll take it.
Oh, okay, fair enough. You don't put it on, but there you go. It
No,
looks
I'll
like
put
would
it on.
fit.
If it looks cool, I'll put it on.
Fair enough. And so it does. There you go. And so it is now just a pile of dust on the ground. No body. But you have a wand and a necklace and a cloak. There you go. And a witness. A police witness. Haha, even better.
Warden is going to look at the people that took stuff and say, you're definitely going to at least need to show them that for evidence.
I want to do like a magic trick, like sleight of hand. Like I go, what wand? And it's just gone.
Roll me a sleight of hand.
Throws it up to your wall.
19 plus 3. That is a 22.
22. Okay.
Sort of like slides it up his nose like a pen.
Jesus Christ. If you guys would like to roll perception, you can. If not, we'll go off your passives. If any of you want to. If
I'm
not,
gonna
you
roll
see it disappear. Roll perception. Okay. Anyone else rolling for it or just going off passives?
I'm
Yeah, I
rolling.
have to see it.
Okay. Yeah, just to see if you see where it goes. It's like a magic trick
It's
where you're trying to
Warden's
figure
job.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, he doesn't.
Jesus. Okay.
That is a
I got a 24.
24, and Brent, what was yours?
17.
17. Nah, see, you don't see it. Anyone else who did it, what would you get?
What were we rolling for? I'm sorry. I got a message.
It's fine. Vokden made wand disappear, magic trick, and just to see, like, do you see where it goes? Warden does not. You don't have to roll for it if you don't want to, but fun thing if you want to see. It's like when a magician does a magic trick and you're trying to figure out, like, how they did it. So you're, like, watching every detail, and I almost called you Alexander for, like, the 500th time. Isaac, Hi. You do, and you see Vokden kind of doing a bit of a distraction. Sleight of hand. Poof. It's gone. Warden, you don't see it. It's poof, gone.
23.
23. That's what the roll was. I believe was a 23.
No, it was 22.
22 actually. Okay, so then 22. Yeah. So Lucia, you see it as well, and magic trick gone. But then you see, oh, it's right there. Magic, but not
At
like
first,
actual magic.
he's really amused,
Yeah.
and it just goes like, oh.
Yeah. It's like a kid who's like, oh, that was really cool. Oh, that's how they did it. I just ruined it for myself forever.
It is exactly what it was.
Wonderful. After a couple minutes, the guards that were coming with you, that was very quick. That thing went down very quickly. All these series of events have been over the course of like a minute or two tops. They show up finally and are like, God, you guys are so fast. Oh, it's over. I think.
Suspect has been terminated.
Oh, God. Sorry. We tried to keep up. Where is it?
Is there like
Reliable.
dust that's like collected on the ground?
Yeah, it's a distinct different color than the sand around you. You can clearly see it's like, yeah, gray.
And then what was Lai gonna do?
Elia's going to point to the nearest like gate out of the town and just say it went that way to see what the gods do.
They initially begin to just start going.
After they run like 30 feet away, giving them plenty of time to continue to waste their time, Warden is going to be like, no, it's whatever's left of it's right here.
What?
And then gesture towards the dust.
That doesn't look like what was in the picture.
No, it does not. That's all that's left of it.
I like to imagine almost like passive intimidation, just as a joke. I'm standing there smiling like it used to.
Yeah.
Elia will punch her fist like this, sort of like a kung fu master, and as she punches her own fist, a little blaze of fire will come up.
Nice. Very cool effect. And one of the guards like, whoa, that's cool. I want to do that. And they're like, well, we should probably go tell the boss. Should we scoop it up?
What rank are these guys?
These are like grunts. They're like I don't know guard rank. I haven't made that yet.
Okay.
But they're like, if they were in military, they'd be like private. They're green. You'd be up there.
Do I know last name of one of them?
Yeah, we'll say Matthews is the last name of the guy who's been mainly speaking.
Warden is going to look at Matthew, simply say, I leave that up to you.
Oh, right. Kind of looks to the other one. Rogers, you got a jar? Kind of searches through his pack. I got my lunchbox.
Lucia will pull out one of his things. I've got stuff for this.
Ah, thank you, stranger.
The world's tiniest sweeping pan and brush.
Yeah, and so you hand them like a vial to put some in. Okay, and so they take it and they're like, oh, okay. They start getting sweeping it in, and it's like it's a real tiny vial. You know, it's not a very huge vial, so they're kind of like, shoot, it's not going in. It's just these two guards supposed to be like protectors of the city on their hands and knees, like they're sweeping sand in a sandbox, and they're just sweeping it in. And yeah.
Are they always that dumb?
Warden, you would know. At least one of them is illiterate.
Which one, Matthews or Rogers?
Matthews.
Warden is going to kind of smile a bit at that and simply say, Last I checked, Matthews can't read, so yes.
That's a thing. People don't know how to do that.
Apparently not.
Huh.
Elia will say something derogatory about the gods in Elvish.
What do you say?
What do you
What
say?
is said?
Just something all like fucking useless. Like absolutely useless.
Warden is going to respond in Elvish. Tell me about it.
And hearing her own tongue, she'll just sort of be like, oh shit.
Lucia's just gonna be nodding the whole time in agreement.
Edna's gonna respond in Elvish, something along the lines of, "You said it."
Oh my god, that's
Isaac's
funny.
just so confused.
Literally, in this situation, Isaac's the only one who doesn't know. That's so funny.
Very
Well, I'm
quickly,
still saying Elvish,
Matthews?
so it's not super heard. I also can't read.
finding out that so many people know Elvish, she'll be like, oh shit, and then quickly switch to what other fucking languages does she know?
God, I really hope
Where's
it's
the
one that
language?
they understand as well.
Me too. Where the fuck do you find languages on D&D Beyond?
I don't know.
It's gone. I'm pretty sure she knows Draconic from a thingamajig. There it is.
I think so.
She'll switch to Dwarvish.
Dwarvish.
And
Okay.
just go, oh shit.
Ah.
Oh, I know this one.
Switches to the one Isaac does. That's
Just
wonderful.
like, I seem to have made a mistake. Isaac's like, what?
Ah. Okay.
Isaac's gonna respond, what was the mistake?
And then finally, in Primordial, she'll go, I guess you'll never know.
Know what?
Even Rogers looks up. Yeah, you know what?
Elia just walks off.
Oh, that's very funny. Yeah, okay. Maybe someone else heard you too. Anyway. Yeah. And so you walk off, and they eventually, the two of them, get enough of this dust to kind of fill the vial and cork it. We'll take it back to the captain. I suppose you should all come back for your payment if it's taken care of. I don't know where those two other schmucks went off to, but yeah.
I think to cut it off before it could leave town should it attempt to, I think was what they said they were doing.
Ah, alright. I mean, suppose they still helped in a degree. I guess.
Small one, yes.
And they'll kind of
everyone,
walk off.
as everyone goes to collect payment, Elia will go for one last sweep round, just to double check, and then to grab the other two guys for their payment.
Okay. And so
Going
Elia,
only 100 feet this time.
100 feet, wonderful. It takes you a bit longer, about 3 times as long. However, you do get to the first guy, the half-orc. Half-orc dude with 2 swords. He's got one of them drawn, just kind of flourishing it around, and just dancing around, kind of just standing there, looking around, walking back and forth. Oh, it's you. You see anything?
More than saw something. Had a bit of a tussle with the thing we were looking for.
Ah. You take care of it.
Very quickly.
Good. Well, I suppose I'll be heading back then. Thanks.
No worries.
You go to the next person?
Yeah, and then this very elderly elf will just sort of start off again.
Literally, the half-orc you go, huh? as you start running. Just, damn fast old woman. And so you get to where the other Warforged should have been, or to where the Warforged should have been, and you don't see anyone. But across the ground, because out of town there's a couple dunes that go right around the outside of town, and they're not very high, but they're a little taller than you. And you see a trail of blue liquid dripped in the sand leading away toward the dune.
She will go as fast as she can, just literally tell the others, and then go back to the dune.
About the time you get toward the... Do you head back to where they were, or to the guard post? Because I'm guessing everyone else was headed back. Would I be correct in assuming that? Getting head nods. Okay.
Yeah, she'll head towards the guard post. If she catches them before, then she'll talk to them there.
I think it lines up well that about the time you get to the guard post, they're starting to walk up. You circled the town, had to slow down, talk to the one guy. So they're getting there by the time you get there. And you see them there. And so, what do you say? What do you tell them?
The the orc, is on his way. But the Warforged wasn't where he said he would be. However, I did see some blue liquid leading off into the dunes, so if you want to go and check that out, that might be a good idea.
I think we should do that. That would be blood.
Blue?
Yeah,
It's
blue
the
liquid.
Warforged have blue blood. You didn't notice?
It's not super common knowledge.
Would Warden know this?
It's not super common knowledge. You might have heard of it, Warden, in your line of work specifically, but Warforged don't often go missing and fall into your line of work, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that it'd be like, what? Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
And so you have been told, and the captain was just kind of walking out and going to be like, oh, you're back, how did it, as this news is dropped. And he kind of says, how did it go?
It went fairly quickly.
I can see that.
But we have another problem that we should probably go attend to.
All right, Warden, you know the deal. And he kind of turns and walks away, as he always does, pinning it on you once again.
Warden is going to sigh and then kind of look to one of the other guards and kind of taking all of the 2-3 pages on a little notepad that relate to the incident in which the thing was shot to death, and then kind of say, put that on his desk. He'll probably not read them later. And then he'll turn to go.
Okay. And so you go. The others of you follow as well. Anyone doing anything in particular? Or
already,
just walking?
Elia will already be at the dunes.
you are almost there, yeah. And so everyone gets going. And when you all arrive, you all see the same thing. It's very obvious on the stark white sand. This drips of almost this light blue, leading toward and over the dune. So what do you do?
Elia will just zip to the top of the dune, not necessarily going over it, but seeing what she sees.
Okay, you're the first up there. You look down, and the first thing you see is the top half of the Warforged. From about midsection, you can't see below, but midsection up is there. Bottom half nowhere to be seen. This blue liquid, you were told by Lucia, is their blood, spread everywhere across the white sand. From the other side, you can't quite see it over the hill, this dune, but as soon as you get to the top, or almost to the top, you see it. And its hand kind of reaches out to you, and the others of you, would you be heading toward the top as well? Lucia, yeah, okay. You reach the top about this time as it reaches its hand out toward you. Run. They're coming. And as its hand drops, the light in its eye going out. Its weapons, by the way, nowhere to be seen. A warning has been given. What do you do? Run, they're coming.
Is they?
Oh, it's dead. It died before the question could be answered.
That's generally a question to
Oh.
everyone around.
Yeah.
Warden, his gun's out again, and it's kind of going towards the top of the dunes around him, just kind of seeing if like anything should pop up. I don't know.
Perception check if you'd like. See if you see anything.
Woo, I would love to.
I'd like to help.
It's a perception
Help
check.
action. Okay. Advantage, Brand.
Isaac just like goes over to Warden and holds his eyelids open.
15.
15. In the distance, Warden. Bit of a ways off. You see something in the sky. Further in the desert, toward where the ship crashed. And you see something in the sky. And at first you think it's something floating in the wind. Possibly a large piece of cloth, and as it gets closer you can see it's separate little things strung together. With a large, what almost looks like a carriage behind it.
Santa.
And as it gets closer, you see the things out front are small but have many legs. And these big, what almost look like antlers, sticking out. It gets within about 100 feet.
I'd like to fire at it.
You want to fire at it? You may.
Yeah.
Fire at it, and then I'll say, because I think at this distance this is good. So your instinct, fire. Do. It's at 100 feet when you do this. Are you sharpshootering this?
Yes.
Are you doubling down?
No.
Okay. Give me a second.
That's a 19 to hit.
Okay. 19. I will say, yeah, that'll hit. That'll hit. Yeah, I was thinking if anything would affect this, but no, 19 will hit.
That's 11 damage.
11 damage. Okay. So as you fire, this beams forward and it slams into one of the things in the front, which at about this distance you see look to be brains with legs and antlers. And there are about 30 of them strung together. And you hit that one, and it seems something, it just slams into it, slams right through a spurt of blood. And that one falls from the chain. And it's kind of suspended by this rope, kind of swinging like a demented piñata from the rest of them. But it continues going in your direction. And this carriage of red and gold continues making its way toward you.
What the fuck?
Okay. So, I would like you all, for the sake of organization here, roll an initiative order for me. And send it in dice rolls. And you don't have to keep attacking, but you have fired the first shot, so to speak, so... yeah.
22.
22. Nice. Okay.
Is Eli going first?
We're about to find out, because I think Brent might have just gotten something... Oh, God.
He's just seen a meme on his phone.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's for initiative, so kind of... Yeah.
Bruh.
Oh my fucking God. Alright.
Gloomstalkers, man.
Yeah,
fucking
good.
Gloomstalker fighter multiclass is fucking nuts, man.
I'm gonna say, just for balance reasons, because I'm gonna be honest, I totally forgot how fucking broken Warden was at where he is. I'm gonna say one attack normally, rather than the two, just to balance it a little bit.
Okay.
Except the Gloomstalker thing for like the first round, I'll give you. But just for base, I'll give you just say 1 attack. Yeah. So let me type up the initiative here.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
I broke a rule earlier, and I didn't realize I was breaking a rule earlier. I'm technically not supposed to have flying speed with wild shape yet.
Are you not? I actually didn't know that. So honestly, just remember that for next time.
I was going to bring it up, but I thought Josh was aware and it had been spoken about.
No,
I'm not as versed on druids as I could be.
It comes at about level 8, I think.
Okay.
Flying speed.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, so that's good to know.
I was just looking at some things. I was like, wait a second. I can't fly yet. Whoopsie.
You're good. Just remember for next time. It wasn't like in a combat scenario. It was actually a really good idea, so I'm not...
Elia will get flying soon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm afraid.
Because she's a dragon thing bunk. So I'm pretty sure that gives her a flying speed at some point.
There's initiative. They didn't roll great. They actually rolled quite poorly. Other initiative. They're last. Sandra.
No, we're fighting Santa Clans. I don't want to kill Santa Clans. I like Santa Clans.
I mean, yeah. And so Santa Clans is back, everybody. They were here a year ago. Yeah, they were here a year ago for the Lilyview one shot we ran. But they're back. And so in this area of dunes, they come down, and I'm gonna say they're at about 50 feet currently. First shots fired. They continue traveling. They're at about 50 feet and seem to be trying to land. Again, even with initiative order, you don't have to attack, but the first shot has been fired, so we're here. What is group consensus here? Attack or no? What's group consensus? Attack. We got Edna seems to.
I've said run, so this is fight or flight.
Fair.
Elia's plan was to ask if the guys wanted to fight. If not, then she was literally just going to run back into town, tell the fucking guard captain to evacuate, and then just go.
Okay.
Abandon all hope.
Okay.
Like, she fucking appears at the doorway. Run. Pew.
So it seems majority is fight. So that's what's happening. Top of the round would be Warden. Currently, all you see are these brain creatures in the front pulling it, and then the carriage itself. About 50 feet is still in the air.
I suppose that having seen the first shot be fired, and then the bisected Warforged, I suppose Warden is going to go ahead and take the shots.
Okay.
Gonna go ahead and shoot one of the brain things.
Okay.
That's going to be an unnatural 20 on one of the brain things.
Ooh. Okay. That will hit, yes.
Alright, and then for the second one, I'm gonna go ahead and that is a natural 1.
Okay. Roll to confirm. Roll one more time, just
Okay.
flat 20.
17 on the dice.
Just a regular miss.
Okay, perfect. Then in that case, that's simply 1d8, 2d8. 17 piercing on one of the brains.
That one drops as well. These things don't seem to be very robust, but there is a good number of them.
I almost forgot the cool thing. Can he redirect the miss?
Oh, yes, you can. You can do that
Okay.
once per turn.
16 on the dice.
Actually,
28.
fucking never mind. Yep, that's it. That'll do.
Okay. Right, not a deuce. 18 piercing.
18 piercing? Okay. That one drops as well. So 3 out of the cluster so far. Okay. Anything else you want to do? Any movement or anything?
Gonna start moving back towards 10.
Moving back
40
toward
feet.
town. Cool. Over next to... I closed off that screen. Hold on. It would now be Elia. It is in the air, 50 feet away. Probably about 30 or so feet off the ground.
So, are we wanting to warn whoever's left in the town or no?
Up to you guys.
And she'll sort of ask this openly.
I think it's a good idea to make the guard aware, but I don't think evacuation is necessary just yet.
Okay, well, you guys continue dealing with this. I'll go tell him. And she'll
It will
just...
be dead when you get the pick.
Please try not to be.
Are you going max speed?
Yeah, just max speed. 6.
Roll a d4.
D4.
Roll a d4.
Oh boy.
Is that to see if I pass out?
1. Going max speed, the adrenaline rushing through your body, and the shorter distance. I think that makes sense. 1 round. Next turn, you're there doing it, and then you'll be back on the next turn. So 1 turn, not there. I couldn't think exactly about how long this would take, so I think a d4 is fair because you are going like real fast.
Oh, over 600 feet.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah. Hey, real good for warning people.
Yeah.
So you do that. That's your turn. Lucia. Lucia, it is your turn. What are you doing?
He's going to hold his action
Okay.
with Spritzen
Okay.
until it is close enough that he can spray as many of them as possible.
Okay. Okay. And this is the paralysis, correct? Because that's all you have right now?
That is all he has right now, yes.
What's the range on that? I forget if it's 15 or 20.
20.
20? Okay. And you are trying to get as many as possible. I will keep that in mind. It's vague-ish wording, but I'll kind of interpret it as I do. Okay. So that's that. Next, it would be over to Isaac. It's over to you.
You see anyone in the carriage, or is it like a closed top carriage, or is there people driving the carriage?
It is a fully closed-off carriage. It doesn't appear to have anyone driving it. It is just sort of like a doors. There are windows, but they have curtains. You can't see in.
Okay. So, how many have we taken out?
You've taken out 3, if I've been keeping
3.
track correctly. Cato.
Do we have some kind of like directional, or are they just all on the right side, all on the left side?
I'm going to say that from the angle you're at, kind of if you've just been shooting the nearest ones to you, they're probably the most on the right side. They're sort of in rows, long rows from the front of the carriage. You've probably been shooting most of the ones on the left. So there would be more on the right.
Okay. So if we kill enough on one side, it should topple over, right?
You could certainly try it.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
And just to clarify, it's the right side that we've taken the most out of, right?
The left you've taken the most out of.
Left, okay.
Left, yeah. Because that's the side facing you.
Gotcha. So that is... I'm using sharpshooter for this.
Doubling down or no?
No, not for this.
Not for this? Okay. Do it.
17 to hit.
17 to hit. That will hit. This thing's quite squeesh. So then, yeah, just roll as a damage.
20.
20. That'll do it. This one again, quite squish. This one drops as soon as your shot hits. The brain practically exploding from the impact. But it's still coming.
Nope.
Anything else for you?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. I'm just looking at something here. Okay, yeah, no, that vibes. All right. So that's that. So next would be Edna. Edna, what do you
Edna
do?
will take turn to turn into bear.
Oh shit,
Brown bear.
brown bear. So you see Edna just grow hair sprouting from everywhere and turns into this massive fucking bear. Yeah, all right. Anything else you'd like
This
to do?
one is for sure legal. I double checked.
You double check. Okay, cool. Anything else you want or can do?
Unfortunately, it's very far out of bear's range.
Of course, bear can only.
So bear will simply take few steps forward, perhaps 10 feet forward to ensure it can charge next when it lands.
Okay.
Now that is a very large puppy.
Woof.
Vokden. Then in that case, it is over to you. So again, for distance, it is about 50 feet away, 30 feet off the ground, but I'm just rounding the horizontal or the diagonal distance, 50.
All right. I will be using Jim's magic missile on 3 individual ones on the left side.
Left side. Okay. I don't remember how that one works, so
Neither do I. Give me 1 second.
yeah, I'm gonna look it up as well to verify with myself. But
For a ranged spell attack for each missile, yes.
that's what I thought, because it's different than regular magic missile. You actually have to roll for this one.
All right. So I had okay. So the first one is a. Oh god, I gotta do math. 14.
Hold on. That one will hit. Yes.
Okay. The next one. Oh, that's definitely gonna hit. It's a 17 plus. Okay, so
That'll do.
yes,
Yeah.
that'll do it. Okay. And the last one. Oh, that one's. Oh, that's gonna be close. It's gonna be a 11.
That one will not.
Okay. Well, the first 2, I'm gonna go ahead and take my. Okay, so the first one does 7 damage,
Okay.
and the other one takes 4 damage.
They are still alive. However, this does hit, and it doesn't seem to like it. It hits it, and it almost knocks it off course a little bit. This hit of force, but they continue coming forward. Anything else you can or would like to do?
I think that's it.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Perfect. So next would be, Santer. Santer Slay, Santer Slur is gonna keep going. It is gonna go its movement 50, and it is going to actually, with this movement, it's more so 50. That's incorrect. It is more so going to go, not straight down, but diagonally. I'd have to do the math on it. I want to say it's like 20. Closing the 30-foot gap to the ground, it's going to land. We'll say that. Just going to round it. I'm going to say it's probably about, doing the math in my head here, about 40 feet away now, instead of the 50. Going diagonally to the ground, that's rounding it about right. So it's about 40 feet away from you guys now, and it does land. That's all that happens, except for 5 of the brain creatures are loosed from their shackles and are going to get ready to charge forward, and they will go on Santer's turn. That's all that's going to happen on that turn. So now it would be back over to top of the round. 5 of them have been released, the rest still in their chains.
Okay, I think that with seeing that some of them have been released from their chains and are now free to come do whatever the fuck that brain thing is going to do.
Mhm.
He's going to go ahead and he's going to cast a first level spell. He's going to Hunter's Mark one of them,
Okay.
and then go ahead and take a shot.
Do it.
Yes. Alright, that is 30.
No, I misses. Yeah.
Perfect. Let's go! A challenge.
But roll hypothetical damage for me.
Okay, of course. Yeah. Ah. No. $21 piercing damage.
Man, this one, it somehow grows armor, and it's still... No, I'm kidding. That thing's dead. Okay. Another dead one added to the tally. And so this one drops as soon as the shot hits. Anything else you'd like to do?
I think he's gonna hold his position. That's all he's gonna do.
Okay, and so as the blood spray from this one slams all against the side of the carriage, painting it with a different shade of red, Elia, it's over to you. Which you would be in town at this point. This is that turn where you're warning everyone, and so then on the next turn you will be back as you sign. So everybody, blah, 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 run, and then you're on your way back. This turn. So Lucia would be over to you.
So you said they're 40?
They're 40 feet away, roughly. Yes. You can still hold it if you'd like, as they're still outside of that spray range, or
He
it's up
will
to you.
move forward 20.
You'll move
So
forward.
that they are 20.
It's cone, 20-foot cone. There were 30 originally. 5 of them are dead. 2 of them injured. I'm going to split the rolls here, and I'll do it in groups of 5. And I will make the roll because, honestly, going up the distance you go, you're getting all of them. What kind of save is it?
I'm checking. It's a con.
Thought so. I just want to make sure. Okay, what is their con? Okay. What's your DC? Because I'm almost positive this is a success with a 19, but just so we can kind of
Oh,
get
but
through
that's definitely.
it. Yeah, I just want to make sure. That way we can go through it.
It is 14.
14. Okay. That one is going to be a 4. That's so a group of 5 of them are going to fail. It's a 17. That's a 6. So 10 fail. And that is a 3. So 15 out of the ones that are left, which was 25, fail. And I'm going to say the first group I rolled for was the ones that are released. So released, fail, and then 2 more sets fail. But there are still 10 that are unaffected. And those are the ones in the farther back away from you and away from the spray. However, they are all, is it paralyzed? I want to say. It's the paralyzed condition. Let me get that in front of me. That way I can just read up on exactly what it does.
I will say that after he takes the rest of his 15 and goes back towards the...
Goes back. Okay. Paralyzed. Incapacitated, can't move or speak. Automatically fails strength and dex saves. Attack rolls have advantage. And any attack that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker's within 5 feet. So melee attacks are crits. Wow. Okay. There we go. Is that all for you? I believe that's it. So then it'd be Isaac. You'd be up next. What you doing?
Only I had a better speed, more
Yeah.
movement.
Yeah.
But all attacks have advantage?
All attacks have advantage.
Dope. So that means I get sneak attack, right?
It is, yes. Yes, it is. Any attack has sneak
Okay.
attack.
Cool. I'm gonna attack one of the 5 that were released.
Okay.
Gonna use sharpshooter.
Oh boy.
I will double down.
Double down. Okay. Oh man. Oh man.
That's a 15.
That'll hit. This is going to be the biggest numbers I've seen out of you yet, probably. Just for reference for everyone, that is doubling down on sharpshooter, so doubling the hit, the plus. So that's a plus 20. Plus whatever your plus to damage is, plus sneak attack. Mother of God.
Big numbers.
I'm both afraid and very intrigued.
$32.
That one in particular that you aimed at, fuck it, there's a lot of them. They're all grouped up. I'm gonna say it shoots through the first one, hits the second one. You hit that thing so hard. God damn. Fuck it, sure. There's 30 of them. I'm not afraid to kill a couple of them. There you go. You drop a couple. Their brains that they are just explode everywhere, covering the rest in guts and viscera, and it's a mess. So there you go. Anything else for you?
Nah,
Okay.
good.
Over to Edna. And all of the ones, don't forget, have advantage if they're stunned.
Edna will charge.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, you charging, Edna?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you charge. What do you do?
Edna's going to go. Okay, is this an action or? I'm gonna double check something before I talk out my ass.
Yeah. You're good.
As she's going up to him, she's going to enter a rage.
Okay. All right. Raging. Now this bear starts to like growl. It's a raging bear. This is great. All right.
All right. She's going to go for the first one she can get to.
Okay.
She's going
This
to
would be
bite the
one with advantage.
bite the shit out of it.
Bite the shit out of it. Okay.
Oh, that might not have worked.
Oh.
I need to double check something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only a 10 to hit.
10 hit. That's with advantage.
Wait, no, I lied. That's 6. Oh, advantage?
Yeah, advantage because it's
Oh,
paralyzed.
19.
Okay, it hits. And by the way, this is a crit. It's a crit because it's
Oh,
also
badass.
because it's paralyzed. Yeah.
Cool. It's still got the worst damage roll possible,
Yeah.
but it's still a 10.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Yeah, because you're within 5 feet making a melee attack, so it's crit. So 10, you said, is that already doubled or no?
Already doubled, yeah.
Okay. That one is actually alive. That one is
Okay.
still alive. Yeah.
Edna's going to turn to a different one and
Okay.
make a second attack.
Oh, because
Bra-
bears get multi-attack?
Brown bears have multi-attack.
Oh, wow. Okay. Do it.
Preferably one that is stunned,
Okay.
if there's
So,
another stunned one.
yeah, there's 15 stunned ones.
Oh,
Another stunned one. Just
Oh,
for
no.
fun. That is 14.
That'll hit.
Badass. 20.
20. Ooh. That one dies.
Badass.
That one dies. So another one on the death counter. Anything else you can do? I don't know what brown bears can do.
That's it.
That's it. Okay. So then up next would be that's fucking cool. I like brown bears. Over to Vokden now. So Vokden, again, bunch of them are stunned.
Okay. Let me see what I got. Unfortunately, believe it or not, I did not bring my what is it? Thunder Wave.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately. But I will be using Jim's magic missile on the next, on the same 3 of them that I tried before.
Okay, that works, actually. Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. So the first one is a 17.
That'll hit.
Next one is a 17 plus, so that should definitely hit.
That'll hit, yeah.
Okay. The next one is another 17.
Wow, good rolls on that. Okay, those will all hit.
Wait. Damage time.
Damage time.
So,
yeah.
first one will take. Oh, got my dice stuck. You're jingling my dice. There it is. Got it out. Okay. The first one will take 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay. I'll say, with it being, I'll just choose it to be this one. That one's down. So that one
Awesome.
takes some other damage. So that one's
The next one takes 5 damage.
5 damage. That being the second one, that one's gonna still be up.
Okay.
Or very hurt, but still up.
And this last one will take 4 damage.
4 damage. So this one would be that one. Okay. That one is gonna still be up because it didn't take damage before, so
Okay.
there we go. Okay, I've gotten that written down. Okay, give me just a moment. Okay, anything else you'd like to do in your turn?
That is all for me.
All right. So then in that case, it is over to Santer. Okay. They have landed. First of all, we're gonna take care of the brains. So most of them can't do anything except they can remake that save. Correct, Lucia? I believe. Yes, they can remake that save. So, there's a few there that would still be alive. So I'm going to failure. Is that a 7 or a 17? Oh, that's a 1. Never mind. That dice is hard to read. Holy shit, did they all fail? They all failed. All the ones that were stunned before failed again with 7s, 2s, 4s. Yeah, they're all paralyzed still. So that'll continue until next turn at the very least. But there is still some that are free. And they're going to get released as well. And they're actually going to... No, these are the ones that would be. So they're actually going to attempt to make an attack on the couple that are within reach. So one of them is going to go after... We'll say 2 are going to go after Edna. So we'll do those ones first. Okay. So the first attack, Edna, that's an 8 to hit. I don't believe that'll hit. And so this thing, it sort of jumps at you, leaping with these giant 3 toad claws, and it leaps off the ground, and it's got a maw on the bottom of this brain that opens and attempts to bite you, and you kind of bat it away. Second one is going to be 17. Okay. 17, these are just the straight attacks. This is the second one. It jumps at you and it latches onto your arm. And I need 4s.
What damage is it?
It is going to be slashing, and it does not state anywhere it's magical. So it is.
Pretty sure I have resistance.
Yeah, double check, but if that's the case, that's awesome. That is going to be.
Doesn't it not matter for barbarians if it's magical or not? Because don't barbarians just resist all slashing, piercing, bludgeoning damage?
Yeah, so actually that wouldn't matter anyway. So yeah.
I'm raging, so I resist slashing. But if it was like if it was a high level monk thing, it would be like the monks would be slashing damage. It would just be magical damage to get around the resistance.
Yeah. Nothing here like that to get around it or anything. So yeah, I mean, that's gonna be 8 slashing damage. So 4 damage.
Well, I also get the brown bear's HP bar, which is 34.
Very nice. So make sure to take off that, not your actual They
I
do
know.
have one other thing they can do. Let me read this here. I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw.
21.
That will succeed. Let me see if you take half here. You do not. So nothing happens, but it sends out this beam or this burst of energy toward your head, and your head starts to hurt, kind of shake it off. This rage keeping you going. So then you are
Edna's
good.
unimpressed.
Unimpressed. So that was two of them. There is going to be the other three. Lucia would be the next closest, I believe. So they're going to go after Lucia. That's, I'm pretty sure, going to miss. They were both 9s on Lucia. So I believe they are both misses. But they are going to do the thing as well, so I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw. 2 of them, please. Actually, sorry. Incorrect. 1 of them.
Ten.
10? Okay. And I did see your message, Connor. 1 second. I haven't looked at it quite yet. 10, you said?
10.
Okay. Actually, that does fail. It's a DC 12. So, give me just a moment. Give me a moment.
4 on the dice.
Need 3d6. What is your intelligence ability score?
18.
18? You're fine. You do take 14 psychic damage as this blast hits your head, and your head begins to pound and hurt, and for a moment you start to feel dumber, for lack of a better word, but you are able to shake off the effects of that. You are not made... your intelligence score does not become reduced to 0. So that is good. So, yeah, you do take the damage, though. And so that is their turn. It would now be to the top of the round, which would be Warden. But real quick, I think we're going to take a quick break. So let's take a quick break and then be back to it. So yeah, I'm going to just pop. Okay, we're back. I just need to fix stream thing real quick. Although things are different today, so it's not as
It's
big of a fix.
not as serious.
Yeah, is easy fix. So then, yeah, be over to Warden. It's over to your turn. So,
Woo!
what would you like to do?
So nothing has emerged from this cabin yet. It's
No.
just the brain.
It is
Okay.
just these brain things. Nothing's emerged.
All right. Then, as a bonus action, Warden is going to go ahead and switch his hunter's mark over to another one of these things, and then he's going to start shooting at it. You know?
Okay, start blast.
So anyway, I started blasting. Not doing that.
Did it happen again? Did you get another one? Beautiful.
Different dice too.
We love it. We love it. Well, okay. Okay.
These things don't love it, but
No,
I don't
they-
care about their opinions. They're silly, stupid, something-ish opinions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, don't put any of that.
Okay.
There we go.
I see it. Yeah. Different dice.
Bada
and,
bing,
it's good
bada
stuff.
boom,
Bada bing.
bada boom.
Bada boom. Okay. Let's fucking.
Where the
swoop
fuck's my other D4? I want to use a specific D4.
T4.
Okay, I will use that D4. Oh. Okay, there's that D4. Yeah, it's already in my fucking tray.
Nice.
Great. Hunter's mark. Fuck. Okay. So it's 17 plus 6 with the hunter's mark.
Yeah, that was dead. Okay.
Perfect.
You're chunking through them. Question. Never mind. That doesn't apply because you're not within 5 feet. Never mind.
Nope.
So then that's good. You did that.
I'm also shooting with a gun.
You are shooting with a gun. I will say, because that was a crit.
Yes.
I'm gonna say honestly that probably does a similar thing. It like shoots through one, goes into the next. So
Wait, that wasn't doubled.
okay, yeah, you definitely killed two. you definitely killed
I am
two.
sorry.
It's okay.
I rolled an 8, a 3. I have a plus 6, and then I rolled a 6 on my D6 for the hunter's mark, and then I didn't double that.
Oh, okay, I thought you just rolled shit, so I wasn't questioning.
No.
Okay.
I actually rolled quite well. I just didn't double it like an idiot.
Well, there you go. Two go down, dropping like a sack of potatoes. Their legs kind of going bleh, spreading out, and just kind of dead. Anything else you want to do? Any movement of any kind?
Generally moving a little bit towards the cabin.
Toward the
I
cabin,
think moving 30 because he moved back to 40, so now he wants to be a little bit
A
closer.
little closer. Okay. It would be over to Elia now. If you want to finish what you're doing, then take your turn. You can.
Yeah, so she would be back by now, would
You
she?
would be back. This is an official turn. You've worn the guard.
Okay, so she's going to move towards the brain things.
Okay.
And can she position herself with 65 feet of movement in a way that she can use a 20-foot cone breath attack and not hit any allies, but hit as many brain things as possible?
You won't. Okay, so they are all technically within a 20-foot cone. However, so is Edna. So I'm gonna say you could probably get about half without hitting Edna. So you could get out of the ones that are alive. Let me actually do some math real quick. Hold on. So it'd be 11 down out of 19. I'm gonna say you can get 10 of them without hitting Edna.
Yeah, she'll do that then. So, without stopping until she actually gets to them, she'll just continue sprinting straight out of the town. And she'll sort of grab her quarterstaff, slam it on the ground, shout at them almost, and she'll shout in Elvish.
Okay.
And as she shouts at them, lightning will sort of fire out of her mouth into this cone.
Okay. And yeah, so the rest of you see there's just like crackles of lightning in this cone. Wonderful. What do they have to do for that? Is that a save?
DC 14 deck save.
Deck save. Okay. Well, let's get rolling some dice. Oh, actually, what is their? Nope, that's their dex. Okay, that's gonna be a 7, so that'll fail. And I will say I am, because there are 10 of them. I'm doing it in groups of 2, if that's okay. That way, I give you the best chance of hitting the most. So, 2 of them fail. That's another failure for those 2. That's a 3. That's a 12. What did you say the DC was?
DC 14.
That's another fail for those. That's another 12. Jeez, are they all going to fail? That's a 17. Okay, 2 of them succeed, but the rest...
Okay, so 5 damage for the ones that failed, and then halved it for the ones that succeed.
Okay, so... I'm going to say some of these were the ones that were damaged already. So that one dies, that one dies. That one gets hurt a little more. So dead, dead. And then half for that one, so... Oh shit. Actually, there's a lot more damage here. Yeah, hold on. Okay, yeah, no, you don't kill a ton of them. Only 2 of them actually drop dead, but a ton of them get hurt. Like...
That works for me.
Yeah. So, you're good there. Anything else you can or would like to do?
No, that's it for her turn.
Okay. So then next would be Lucia. So, Lucia is going to... Let me take a look at his spells here.
Cast the big kaboom.
Does she have the big kaboom? I don't think so.
I don't know what the spell of the big kaboom is, but
no, but I think what would make sense here, a spell Lucia uses a lot, Fairy Fire is actually going to position it in such a way, actually getting the same... No, because they're already paralyzed. That wouldn't make sense. Honestly, I think... let me look up this spell and just double check what it does, because I think this makes sense. Ruin their whole entire day. Yeah, it's a range of 60 feet, so it'd be in range. 10-foot cube, right? 10-foot square centered on a point within range. Could probably get, I'm going to say about... They have to make a dex save. Yeah, casting Grease. That's a fail, that's a fail, that's a fail, that's a save. Could get in a 10-foot square. Probably 4 of them, truthfully. But it'll work. And so that one succeeds, but the rest actually fall prone. However, these are the ones actually closest to Edna currently. So I'm pretty sure you're going to kill them real good, because not only were they stunned or paralyzed, but they're also prone now. Because I'm pretty sure all the ones that weren't paralyzed are now dead. So there you go. So they're all paralyzed and can't really do anything against you. However, that may end soon. Next up would be... Hold on. Let me get the thing up here.
Woo.
Over to Edna. Edna, what do you do?
So there's a carriage attached to this thing, right?
Yeah, there's a carriage attached.
Edna's going to break into the carriage.
Did
How do you do
Isaac
so?
die?
Oh, did I skip over you? I'm sorry. Oh, I totally did. I am so sorry. Isaac,
Oops.
what are you doing? I apologize.
It's just going to be another attack on those things. So if Edna's breaking into the carriage,
If you want to skip over to Edna's turn, you can. I'm pretty sure you'd kill one of them, but if you want to roll for the attack, you can.
yeah, I'll just hold my turn.
Hold your turn? Okay, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to skip over you. So
Cool.
then, Edna, you want to break into... So how are you doing this exactly? Just going up to the door and...
Using the full weight of her bare self, she's going to basically slam into the front of it with her claws and head and just try to break in.
Um,
I'm guessing it's like covered carriage.
it's more so like a fancy ass wooden carriage with like the doors on the side and all that. So less
Okay,
of
I want to break in.
tarp.
I want to break in where there's no door. You're describing what I'm thinking. I'm not describing what I'm thinking.
Okay. Like,
I just want to break in.
just like the front, like where normally a person would sit.
the
You
front,
just
where
want to try to
someone would
like
sit.
rip that open.
I'm going to go in.
Roll to hit, like whatever your normal attack would be as a bear. Roll that, because I'm just gonna kind of say that'll be, because I'm guessing it's strength based.
Yeah, 21.
Yeah. Roll damage on it. Don't forget to add your rage damage as well.
Oh, I forgot about the rage damage.
Yep. I want to
Always
say
good
it's
to
plus
remember.
2. I want to say it's plus 2, but I could be wrong.
12.
12. It's wood, but it's pretty soft wood. It's more decorative, and so you said you slam your head and your fist into it.
Yeah.
Bam! Your head goes in. Your fists go in. These clawed fists.
Uh-oh.
And Edna, it meets the barrel of a 12 gauge. Just a moment, please.
Looks like it's hunting season, boys.
Let me get that character sheet up. Just a moment.
Be fine. Do I not get my second attack in this scenario?
You can after this. This was
Okay.
a held, sort of like a held action.
Uh-oh.
So, it's gonna be an unnatural 20.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, it was a good roll. It was a good
Oh.
roll. And so then, just a moment.
Unfortunately, most things.
Praying
hit the
for you,
bear.
Edna.
14. And this is not magical. That could be a dick. No, it's not magical. So,
What type of damage is it?
oh, apologies. That's it's gonna be piercing.
Piercing. That's halved.
Nothing
Is
fancy.
14
on this.
already? Is
14
14 already halved?
No, sorry. That is full. So it's 7.
Okay, I was about to be very scared.
Although I am sorry that I lied to you. That was a targeted attack. I did roll that with disadvantage, meaning that is a crit. So you take the full 14, because it would be halved to 7, double to 14. So it is the full 14. Now, because that was a reaction, using their held action, you can take your second attack, if you wish. As this blast of, I don't think you've ever had something like this hit you before. You spend a lot of
Oh,
time in
probably
the
not.
woods, and so this pellets, buckshot just poof, in your face.
The first attack was with the claws.
Yeah.
She's going to try to bite its face off, whatever it is.
Uh,
Assuming it has a face.
it is wearing a mask, silver mask.
She's gonna bite the shit out of it.
Bite the shit out of it. Okay, go ahead and are you doing this like a targeted attack?
Sure, why not?
Okay, roll with disadvantage. If you hit, it is a crit.
Okay.
And it just chomps onto the barrel of the shotgun and just
We're talking, I don't have faith, but a 16?
16? I'm sorry. 16
Damn.
does not hit. And so
That
you
is
go to bite
unfortunate.
down, and it pushes itself back far into the carriage, as far as it can away, and you just can't quite reach. You do get a good look, though. I guess you could probably guess. Red suit with the white puffs. But under the mask, you see dried, cracked tentacles look out. This is Santa Clans.
Trying to get
motherfucker.
out. I try to get my head out of the carriage.
Trying to get your head out of the carriage? Okay.
Will this provoke an opportunity attack?
I'm gonna say yes, but he doesn't really have a melee weapon out, so it'd be more just kind of trying to hit you with the weapon, which would be like an improvised weapon attack. But they are still going to try. Are you pulling back?
It's probably a better idea than staying in there.
Okay. And so
Could
you
I
pull
make an
back?
argument?
Yes.
Didn't you say that it was using a reaction for a held attack?
They
Therefore,
could not, because they don't have a reaction. Thank you. I didn't think about it. That is correct. So never mind. You can pull out freely. Thank you.
Edna's gonna pull her head out and back up like 20 feet.
Oh, Okay. And so the rest of you see Edna barrel in there and pull it open. Boom! And then pull back out. And face is just dripping with blood at this point. But alive. But alive.
But
Okay.
alive.
So, that's your turn?
Yep.
Vokden, it is up to you. Carriage, everything is still about 40 feet from you.
All right. Now to think.
Mhm.
Okay. So he's moved out of the carriage, right? His head's out of the carriage.
Not exactly. It's more so a hole has been punched in the carriage. You can't really see him, though. It's a decent-sized carriage. He's like...
Well, I mean, like, one of our members had gotten
Oh.
infection.
Oh, yeah, Edna's out of the carriage, yeah.
And it is out. Okay. I guess earlier there was a grease put down over the course of 4.
Yeah.
Yes, I never used this, but I figure like if logic is in play, I'm able to firebolt that grease.
Grease doesn't light.
It is not.
It does not.
Okay. Then in that case, let me think. Because I think I used all my
Carriage is made of wood.
The carriage is made of wood.
Okay. See, that's what I was thinking though.
Yeah.
I guess I'll firebolt that carrot, see what happens.
Okay. It's a carriage. I'm gonna have you roll to hit, but
Okay.
yeah.
I'm feeling a 20. Oh, that's a 7. So 7 plus 13.
13? Yeah, it's a carriage. That'll hit, and so you. And do me a favor and roll the damage.
The damage. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I gotta check that
Because
out.
we'll see if something in
Oh.
particular happens. Because it definitely hits and it catches where it hits. But it's more so, does it do any actual damage to the carriage?
Right. I'm feeling good about this roll. If I can find the dice.
Forget it, I think it's a D10. I haven't used it in a
Yes.
while. Okay.
Making sure. Yeah, I'll just use the other D10. That is a 7.
A 7. Okay. And so it hits, and it actually, this bolt of fire hits the side of the carriage, kind of cracks it from just the force of it hitting. But then the fire starts to lick out the sides and does catch some of the wood around it. The carriage is starting to burn. And we'll see. Okay, good to know. Anything else for you?
No, that will be all.
Okay. And so, Sander is going to kind of, you're going to see him, Edna, you would see him stand. You see him stand up inside the carriage and kind of walk up the front. And it's sort of slope-like steps, and kind of just stands at the front, and he's going to make an attack against you with his shotgun. That is going to be that's another unnatural 20. And he does have 2. So he is going to actually take this one on, because I don't believe, Elia, you moved away. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you did.
How close would I have been to the carriage, though? If the brain things are in front of it, and
They're in
then she made sure it's a 20-foot cone.
You would have had to hit the ones you did, you would have had to move probably 30 feet. And this thing's got a short range of 30. He's gonna attempt to make
deflect missiles.
Okay, group consensus here. Can you deflect missiles, Buckshot? I will take any answer. What do you think?
If she has her quarterstaff, can she lance?
I'll allow it. I'll allow some sort of deflection here.
As long as I don't use the deflect missiles attack straight after.
Yeah, I'll say when
It's
it comes to something with bullets, I'll allow like a deflection, but not, you won't be able to return them, sort of like you can in arrow. So I think that makes sense. With all of that said, that's probably a good thing. Edna. So that was an unnatural 20 on you, and Elia, that was a natural 20 on you. So, give me 2 seconds.
Is this a targeted attack again?
No. This is just regular attack. No targeted.
Cool.
So Edna, for you, that is going to be 16. Piercing, halves, so 8 to you. And then, so it did the deflect missiles, so that would be 12 damage that it reduces, correct? Yeah. So then, your damage, I have to roll that still. Hold on. And I'll remove the 12 for you already, and I'll just give you your amount. So 0. You maneuver yourself using the speed at your disposal and then deflect just a couple. It's almost like time's moving in slow motion. You deflect a few with your quarterstaff and it misses. And that's 0 damage.
Call you Neo. Literally dodging bullets right now.
Actually, it's more like that scene in Deadpool 2. You do that whoosh, and you dodge it all, but I forgot that was a crit. So then you get pelted in the side that you dodge out of all. You're like, yeah, I'm so cool. I dodged it all. And that's 12. You're gonna take 12 piercing damage.
He's now at half health. Lovely.
Yeah, listen, you're the new warden's all I have to say, and Brett, you know what that's like. Yeah.
Oh god.
That is their turn. They use a little bit of movement. They're gonna do that. No, I apologize. They have a little bit of movement left. They're actually gonna hop down off the carriage, just standing in front of it. For reference, they're 30 feet away from Elia. Edna, probably 20, roughly. So there we go. Who's next? Let me scroll back up. Warden, hi.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to see that it's out of it. I'm going to bonus action, put my hunter's mark on him, and then, as if I were the ATF, I'm going to shout out, drop the shotgun, and then shoot his dog.
Oh no.
That is a 17.
17? I don't believe that does hit, actually, a 17.
I was shooting one of the brain things.
Dog. I'm sorry. Yeah, that does hit the dog. Apologies.
I was not shooting him. I was shooting the brain thing.
Yeah, that kills the brain thing. Or, well, it hits the brain thing. Probably.
It's the brain
We're
thing.
about to find out.
We'll see.
Question, are you shooting one of the ones that is injured or non-injured?
Sure. Just
Injured.
fucking finish off Fido.
Yeah, why not? Might as well. Put him out of misery.
14 piercing.
14 piercing. Okay. That's dead. Okay, that one is dead. Okay. Perfect. Anything else for you?
And that's about it. He's 10 foot further away than anybody else had been because he went back 40 and then came back 10.
Exactly.
No, sorry, 30.
30,
And
yeah.
so he's a little bit further than the rest of them. And he's got his gun and he's going to keep shooting things until this guy puts down the shotgun and the dogs stop being whatever they are.
Okay. Warden, can you, real quick, before we go into Elias' turn, you did yell that out. Please make me a persuasion check or intimidation. I will give you a choice. And then you did shoot his dog, so I will let you do it with advantage, whichever you choose.
Let's go. Let's go persuasion.
You've all been shooting his dogs, and then you say that, and they go bang and shoot his dog. So, yeah.
21.
21. Okay. He's gonna look around, take the mask off, and this is a mind flayer. You can clearly see it is a mind flayer, but its tentacles are a little bit whiter, and not quite as dried out as the others.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah. He's gonna drop it and just put his hands up and start mumbling these some weird language. Does anyone
What language, buddy?
Does anyone speak deep speech?
Well, hold on. Not
was
only do I not speak it, but I have to comprehend languages.
You do have comprehend languages on, so you would
And
understand it.
I do speak it as well.
Do speak it as well. Honestly, I apologize. Deep speech. That might not be the correct one. I want to say it was deep speech. I actually didn't type it on my sheet here. Brant, do you recall which one was their main language?
I believe
forgot.
it was Undercommon and Deep Speech.
Undercommon and deep speech. That's what I thought, but I that's what I typed
Yeah.
here, but I couldn't remember if I was right or not. So deep speech. There you go. And so it's just muttering. And so who understands deep speech? I know Vokden does because it's comprehend languages.
He did before, but that doesn't make a ton of sense now.
Now it doesn't with new version of I will say he probably doesn't.
At least not for the reason why. So
Yeah. So I'll say you
There we
probably
go.
don't, just because. Just Vokden. Okay. And so you hear this. Hold on, I'm gonna switch up the music here on my end, and we're gonna. Okay. And so, this voice, this very raspy voice. Wait. You shot at me first. And again, Vokden, you are the only one that understands this. The rest of you hear. And that's it. You shot at me first.
I think Vokden needs to contemplate for a second.
Okay. Dude, give us an idea. What's going on in your head right now?
Well, you see, the old Vokden, he would have said something rude. He would have said, "Oh, he's threatening us. Let's shoot him." But the new Vokden, he's reformed.
Oh, is he?
No, but maybe, maybe he'll spare this one.
Oh. Interesting.
Let me think.
Well, while you're
While
thinking,
Vokden's taking time, can I use my last turn to fight him? Like, fire at him?
you can. You want to hit him?
Yeah.
You can. No one's stopping
Okay.
you. Go ahead, do it.
Can I go for the face?
You want to go for the face? That is going to be a
what a
disadvantage.
dick! I love
That's
it.
gonna be a
It's
disadvantage.
fantastic.
Do it.
So lowest was a 9. With a +9 to hit, so an 18.
It does not. If you're aiming at
Okay.
him, an 18 does not hit, and so the rest of you kind of. He drops the gun. Vokden, you're thinking, and then the shot flies right by him.
After that, I was like, "All right, we gave him a scare." So I'm gonna talk. He doesn't seem to mean any harm.
It is going to kind of look to you who spoke, no one else having spoken, kind of look toward Vokden. Why did he shoot at me? I'm surrendering. I just wanted to deliver gifts.
FYI, Edna in wild shape, from everything I can read, does not understand languages at the moment.
Oh. Huh. Give me like 2 seconds. Do you want that to be the case? I will allow you to choose that to be the case.
I am okay with it in this context.
Okay, fuck it, sure.
No.
Okay, just
I
And then
think
the
it's
bear's
okay.
gonna maul center glance.
please write that down somewhere.
And there's nothing we can do.
It changes for each animal I change to.
Okay,
Because
this current-
brown bears cannot understand languages, but like
gotcha.
if I was an 8th level and was an eagle, then you can understand common and something else, but you can't speak it.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Okay. So, keeping that in mind, so let's do this here. In the initiative order, because we'll kind of break initiative order here, but let's get to the end of it here. Isaac, you took a shot. So, next up there, having no one else had done anything until Isaac shot, kind of skipping to Isaac in the order. Edna would be next. Bear Edna sees, gun drop, hands up. What does Bear Edna do?
Edna is going to break wild shape.
Bear Edna break
Since-
wild shape.
She's not lost her intelligence or wisdom,
Okay.
so she's still somewhat smart.
Okay. I was
She's gonna
just
break
curious.
wild shape. Break
Okay.
wild shape and turn around and see like, hey, what's going on?
Okay. main reason I skipped there to figure that out is because Edna was the wild card here. Everyone else seems pretty passive. Edna was the wild card there. I needed to make sure Edna was not about to maul Santa Claus.
Yeah, I realized after I said she can't understand languages, she can still see things
Yeah.
and infer context clues.
Gotcha. Okay. So, that's there. Cool. So, what do you want to do? You have a surrendering mind flayer. Or, you wouldn't know that's what it was, but you know what. Out of game, you know that's what it is. Name Santa Claus, or at least that's what's... He's got a little name tag. It says Santa. And then on the other side, Claus. So, like, you can kind of infer.
Just has Santa Claus like tattooed on his knuckles.
That's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
So, I think I'm gonna start speaking to the Mr. Santa Claus.
Okay.
What his name is, and I'm gonna be speaking to him. So, you see, my translation is a bit lacking. Although with a couple of these gifts you so have mentioned, it might become a bit clearer.
Are you trying to extort me?
No, I just want to make sure I have the most accurate information to give to the bear.
Make an intimidation check, please.
Okay, let's do it. Come on. So that's a 15, but I'm gonna add. Where's my intimidation? 4. That's a 19.
19.
Can
Yes.
Warden give advantage by the fact that he's got a gun drawn on him?
I'll allow it.
Excellent.
I was gonna say, could Edna do
15
it?
again.
Because you were
15
bear.
plus 4. 19 again.
19 again. Okay. I mainly used Edna bear thing as more setting the DC. Because that's what it was based on. So, with 19 being the total, that is, that's enough. So, sort of hands lower a bit, not to, like, grabbing anything, just kind of in defeat, and just kind of looks, this is a really bad day. All right. So, what do you want?
All right. He's asking what you guys want. What would you like? What would you want me to tell him?
Elia looks down at her necklace and then over to Santa. Just like, do you have another?
Sorry, I have another one. I missed what it was.
She sort of looks down to her new necklace and then over to Santa and just like seeing if he has one.
He does not one visible that you can see. And for the purpose of this, Vokden, if you're okay with it, go in with the idea of like whatever anyone says, you're just translating it to him.
Yeah, past translation. I'm good.
Okay, that way we're not double saying things. So, Elia, let me make sure I'm understanding. Are you asking Santa if he has one? Like, you
If she can't see a, if she can't see a visible one, then she'll just sort of be like, "You have another one of these."
Okay. Kind of looks at it, kind of squints. I was exiled, and so I do not have one.
So how did you take it off?
Like this. And he kind of does the motion of like taking off the necklace, putting it back on. Like this.
And then Elia just sort of grabs her necklace, and then she cannot move it.
Yeah,
And she's like,
you just physically cannot take it off. This is the real Santa Claus. He'd already know what we want.
I'm gonna ask for some WD-40.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it just kind of looks at you like, I'm sorry. I was able to just take it off. I'm not sure why you can't. Our kind are able to take them off at will.
"Can you take it off for me?"
I can try. And going to kind of looking toward, gun still out, I'm guessing.
Yes, but it is now lowered slightly, and so that he can so he can actually shoot this motherfucker should that be needed. But if cooperates,
Okay.
No need for the violence. No more dogs need to die. Yeah.
He kind of looks back at all his dead intellect devourers, his dogs, and just kind of looks back at him. Oh. And he does kind of, hands still half up, make his way over to Elia. Takes the necklace. Goes to take it off. When he goes to take it off, it gets about halfway, and you feel a sharp jab in your throat. And he does notice and immediately drops it. Hands going back up. And it seems to have emanated from where the necklace is. I can't take it off. I'm sorry. It might be a racial thing. It might be a tiny bit racist. No, it's more so.
She sort of looks at him like with a really with a stink eye, like, the fuck did you just say?
No, I'm sorry. I meant us. What we are. We can take them off at will. We have magic capabilities, innate, and so the magic on this does not affect us the same as it does you.
Can you tell me what it is?
He's gonna kind of look at you. How long do you?
Say that again, sorry.
How long do you have?
Oh, well, she sort of looks down at herself and then back up at Santa Claus and is like, a couple 100 years at least.
That'll take too long. I have to deliver these gifts. I don't have enough time for that. Just... Do you want to know more?
Yes.
And he'll point out in the desert. Ships that way. Good luck.
If I'm going, you're coming with me.
No, I don't think I...
And then she sort of takes a dart from her belt and, like, motions to throwing it at the nearest dog.
No, wait a
But
minute.
not actually throwing it.
No, wait, not my puppies. Not my dog.
You are coming with us, aren't you? And she'll put her dart back on her belt. That's what I thought.
I think there's something we're not seeing. You see, you don't want to come with us. Well, if only we were a bit stronger. Something, if only you could give us just a bit more strength, ability, potential, awareness, contact, experience.
Listen. You're very... I don't know. However, what do you want? Give me...
I'm trying to con you out of a level.
I know.
Oh man, that hurt a lot.
Yeah. He's going to look at you. He's going to look at between the group. On one condition. When this is over, I walk and go about as I please.
There's a slight problem with that.
Speak one with gun.
But it's the bisected Warforged over there, and then he's gonna point it at the dead Warforged. That's the two.
I didn't do that. I was still coming.
Do you have any idea what did?
He's gonna kind of, because you're not too far from it, he's gonna kind of walk over and take a look.
I would also like to two insight check him, by the way.
Insight check? Okay, go ahead and insight check.
Yeah. Only a 14.
Seems genuine.
Okay.
And so, walks over. Does anyone want to look with him? You guys didn't really take a look. If you want to check it out, you can. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll take a look.
Yeah, Elia will sort of follow him.
Okay. And
I'd like to go over to the carriage.
Carriage. Okay.
Oh no!
we'll get to the carriage in just a minute. Then let's.
What souvenirs will Isaac take today?
We're going to fucking find out. Actually, we'll do the carriage first because that's fun. We'll do the carriage first. So, you get to the carriage and split off from the group, and do you go in through the giant hole in the front that's Edna created?
Is there a door left?
There's a door. Yeah, the door was actually
Yeah,
quite
I'll take the door.
I will say
Take the door.
it is on fire. Did you just say you'll take the door?
We'll take the entranceway that is the door.
Okay, you could. Okay, I was like, so you the door opens. It's not locked. You open it up. The fire is starting to lick its way toward the door, though, but you're able to open it and get in, no problem. It's empty, as far as you can tell. With a quick glance, passive perception, it's empty.
Okay. Samter dropped his gun, right?
He did. He dropped it in the front.
Okay. We'll leave that for now, but I'd like to investigate this burning carriage before I die of inside.
Inside? Okay. Insight check. Or, sorry, not insight. God, words. Investigation check.
$14.
14. You are looking around. Let me roll something, because I want to be nice, but I'm going to let this decide. Okay, it is decided. And so, you are searching around, and you don't find anything. You're patting along things, looking for hidden buttons, levers, switches, anything to open something up, see if there's something hidden, perhaps. That's your realm of expertise, or it's starting to be anyway. You've seen some of these things in the underground. And you don't find anything per se, but behind the seat you reach, and suddenly the end of your hand goes cold as it passes over what seems like an invisible threshold. You don't see anything, but your hand, as you watch, disappears behind the seat. Gone. Vanishes as soon as it's past the wrist. Just gone. You can still feel it. You can still wiggle your fingers, but it's cold. Your hand disappears. You pull it back out. It's still there.
And I remove the seat.
It appears bolted down. How do you go about removing it?
Ooh, boy.
I mean, you can. It's a good 2-foot gap.
I mean,
behind
how
the
is it?
seat.
How is it bolted down?
It's like solid wood underneath it, and then the seat is like. I guess.
Do you have a
nailed
burglar's
into it.
kit with a crowbar?
Yeah, if you have anything like that, that would work. But it is like nailed down. I guess is the best way to put it. Nailed down onto the.
Okay. I mean, if it's wood, I'm just gonna take like a hand axe. I'm gonna take both my hand axes actually and just like hammer away at it.
Okay. Then I'm gonna jump to the others, and then as you're hand axing it, and then once I'm done with them, we'll hop back over. So you guys make your way over to the Warforged body, walking the few feet over there. Santa making it first as he left for it first, and begins to investigate it. If you'd like to investigate, getting any details or anything, roll investigation, and then we'll go based on this.
16.
16? Okay, wonderful. Got a 16 for him as well. Anyone else?
I've got a
the board will
13.
Go to it, I guess.
Okay. 13, okay. And then
With a 5 on the dice, 17.
17? Okay. Wonderful. Ooh. God, that makes sense. Okay, all of you rolled fairly well. Lucia, actually, I rolled for him as well. Natural 20 on that, which, with his knowledge, I think makes sense. So, what you all get, for sure, Thing's been bisected somewhat cleanly, actually. It almost looks like a laser was taken and just thunk through the bottom. It's not in any way messy, which is quite bizarre, except for the bit of guts hanging out, basically. And so, as you stand there kind of observing it, that's what you all see right off the bat. This blue blood, again, just everywhere. No weapons to be seen. Hat still seemingly bolted on his head. Mustache still in place. As you look, though, it does seem like there was a puncture in the head. Similar to what you saw in the woman, although not as ragged. It almost looks like something punctured out, and that was it. Rather than the woman that seemed almost gnawed around the edges, like it was eating. This is much more clean, almost like it realized, oh, okay, and then left. No brain in here. And then left. But it is, this Warforged is clearly dead. But that hole, you notice, the puncture in the back of the skull, that's really all of importance. Really, I wish there was more. But yeah, that's about it. Anything that would have been on their person, any pouches or anything would have been on the lower half of the body, that is gone. Nowhere to be seen. So like the belt area and all that's gone. It's just the Warforged, it's clothing on the torso, and that's it. So that's that. And he kind of stands and kind of looks to you. If I had to guess, it was one of my kind. And he kind of points toward the hole in the head. And is kind of what leads me to that conclusion. But it was not me. I can tell you that much.
So I have an idea.
Uh-huh.
I want to really make this known. Like, I just want to send a picture, actually.
Okay.
So this is kind of where my mind's going right off the bat with this guy.
Do you want to take the Warforged corpse with you?
I kind of want to tie his arms around my like a belt, but no, I won't.
You could. I mean, he's dead, but you could.
Oh, I could, though.
We could get Lucia to rebuild him.
Yes, let's do it. I'm doing it. I'm putting it on my back.
Are you already adopting things? Okay, first of all, what is your strength ability score?
My strength is a +1, so 12.
I'm gonna say you don't quite have the strength for this. This man is solid metal and wood, and he was 7 feet tall. This is probably about 3 feet of that.
Edna.
Edna would, yeah, I'm gonna say with a 12. You could, but you would get exhaustion very quickly.
It's not worth it that much. My best bet, I'm gonna look at Edna pleafully.
Edna, pleaful look.
Can I roll for plea?
I mean, you could. It depends on if Edna is willing or not.
What's my plea modifier?
It is a plus -1.
Don't worry, I'm not doing a plea modifier.
I know. Aaron, no. Edna's services are needed. There's a dead Warforged on the ground, and you're the only one strong enough, and Vokden wants to take it. Oh my gosh!
If they go bear mode, it's gonna be exactly like the whole picture I said.
Be fucking Chewbacca. God damn it.
Unfortunately, she cannot bear mode any longer today. She's used both charges of wild shape.
You did, yeah.
Very
so
unfortunate.
She will simply need to lift it.
You can if you would like to. If you'd like to take it with you, it's up to you guys. I'm not gonna stop you.
If you want it, Edna will lift. If and only if you buy Edna a drink later.
I've seen what you can do with a couple drinks. I'd love to see it again.
Math.
Okay.
It's 21 to lift.
You can lift it, no problem. And what's your ability score? Just, I have a feeling it's high, but I don't
17.
recall. 17. You're good. 17. This thing, you can hoist it on your back using some of its clothing and some supplies you have to kind of put it on, and carry it. You're essentially carrying a corpse, a robot, but a corpse. So there you go.
Not the weirdest thing I've carried.
Fair enough. So you got that. Santa Clans.
I think Warden would have a question for Santa Clans.
Do ask away.
So there's no connection between you arriving on the same day that we have an attack by another one of your kind? Is that what you're trying to convince us here? And then Warden would like to insight check his response.
He's going to pause for a moment and kind of look up. Kind of look off in the distance. Okay, so I came on the same ship. But...
16, by the way.
16, okay. I came on the same ship, but I didn't attack anyone. That's my brethren. And he kind of does kind of air quotes with his long fingers, just air quotes. Brethren.
But you were banished.
Yes. Which is weird, because we're all a bunch of outcasts.
And so why did they take you with them on the ship?
Oh, they didn't. I
I
was...
would love to insight check him again.
What do you call a stowaway? And go ahead and insight check him.
Unnatural 20.
Yeah, he... On both things he said thus far, he's being very forthright with you guys. Yeah, I was a stowaway. They didn't want me, but you see, the big boss, and he kind of, with his tentacles, he just kind of almost like he's rolling his eyes. The big boss, he didn't like what I stood for, so I left.
You're a vegetarian?
No. Why?
I just look over at the others and I say in Elvish, he's not vegetarian.
What was that, sorry?
Oh, I said it in Elvish because everybody apparently knows Elvish.
Yeah, basically.
I said watch your back on this one. He's not a vegetarian.
Not vegetarian. Okay. And he kind of just looks a little confused because he doesn't know, but he just kind of stands there. So like after the whole ship thing or whatever we're doing that you want me to go with you for, can I leave?
We'll get to that when we're finished.
That's not very helpful, but okay.
I don't see a problem if you don't tell my boss that we killed your dogs. I won't tell him that you were out here.
Wonderful.
However much of you makes it out alive should be able to leave peacefully. Or in pieces. One of the two.
You know, I really liked you because you spoke my tongue, but now I'm really not liking you anymore. I don't want to die, do you understand? I value my life very much.
Don't worry, we value it too.
Okay. So, when do we go? We could go now. We don't have a sleigh anymore. Because someone broke a hole in the road, and someone set it on fire. So I have to walk.
I thought your kind couldn't walk.
Okay, we can. We just choose not to. It's quite literally beneath us.
And we can kill you, but we choose not to.
I translate that 100% as fast as I can.
Fair enough.
And she'll do her fist fire thing again.
That's very cool. I can do that too. And he points his finger up in the air. Little bead of red flies up about 30 feet in the air. Boom! Massive fireball.
Yeah, no, you can leave. You can leave after this.
Yep.
I'm glad we have an agreement. Wonderful. Oh, this is a very nice world, though. I'll need to see what happens to it. I'll do my best to stop it. But as with the other two, I can't promise anything. And he will just kind of stand there and say, so yes, when are we leaving? I'm just curious.
I just want to see how long no one leaves.
Say again, I'm sorry.
I just wanted to see how I want to see how long that nobody answers. He just keeps asking.
He's just gonna be like,
Well,
Okay, we can go.
okay.
Okay, wonderful. He's going to start walking. It's this way. Do you follow?
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on, I just want to show this off. So can I roll an insight check just to make sure he's on the right way? It's not that I don't believe him. I just want to show something off.
Yeah, it'll be more like body language and something like that. I'll allow that.
Okay, cool. Because I got a nat 1. Never mind.
Okay. And so
That was the worst possible thing I could have done.
yeah, I mean, I'm curious what the was.
Well, I had a +8. So I wanted to be like, oh, look at that, 28, and then I got a 1. So you know.
Yikes. Okay. Well, hey, sometimes that happens, but yeah, he does seem to be going the way he believes to be the right way, as far as you can tell.
Excellent. I'm not buying it, but I'm coming with.
And so you go, and you begin to walk through the dunes and sands with your new Warforged backpack. What's everyone's passive perception?
14.
16.
16. 11. Okay. Warden.
18.
18. Oh, very nice.
Have I found anything in the carriage?
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. So much is going on in different places. Yes, let's get back to that, and then we'll get to that whole thing. Apologies, I was looking at the time and I forgot. So in the carriage, yes, you actually reach your hand down in after kind of removing and hacking away at the seat. Let's go with this first. So hacking away at the seat, nothing. You get the seat moved. That moves out of the way, nothing. But you do see behind where the seat was, there is a bit of shimmering, as if the air itself is shimmering. What do you do?
I would like to go through.
Okay. It isn't big enough for like your body. It's probably like 2 feet. You could like reach your arm down in, but that's about it. And you could like stick your head in, but you wouldn't be able to fit like your whole body.
Okay. Can I take my quarterstaff and just like feel around in there, see if it hits anything?
You stick your quarterstaff in, and you don't feel the bottom, nor does it hit anything.
I would like to stick my head through.
I have a question for you, Isaac.
Oh boy.
What is Isaac's? If he could have anything, if he could reach into a hole, close his eyes, reach in, and grab something, what would it be?
Probably that thing he saw in his dream.
Okay. When you stick your head in, you don't find anything. But what you do find, as you stick your head in, you see a piece of paper twirling around in this white and black empty space, almost seeming like there's snowfall around. And on this page, as it twirls in this empty space, you see what appears to be a map of an island, with an X marks the spot. And the island looks a similar shape to what you saw in your dream. You have a lead, an exact map to that thing. However, you're only seeing it. You'd have to reach through to get it.
I would like to reach through to get it.
And so you do, and you grab it. And it is that page But as soon as you do, the shimmering dims for you. It's still there, but it does dim. Sort of dissipates a tiny bit before settling. The fire is beginning to lick further, though. Closer.
I would like to go out through the giant hole that Edna made and grab the shotgun.
Grab the shotgun. You can do so.
And I would like to leave.
Okay. And so, anything anyone wants to say before they leave to each other? Anything? Nothing. No takers? Okay. So then, begin to make your way. Now, with everyone's passive perception, I believe the highest was an 18 for Warden. I do believe, unless I missed someone. So, you make your way, and it's a good bit of a walk. You make your way about an hour on foot. And it's hot. It's the desert. But you make it, and you make it about an hour. And in the distance, you can see the ship. This large, hulking wreck. The front of it buried nose down in the sand. The back end kind of tipped up, but still resting on its belly. This large snail shell-like back sitting there. Santa Claus just kind of stands there. You're a good ways off. Probably still good. 20-minute walk. And he kind of just stands looking at it. That is the ship. All right, we're here. I showed you the way. Goodbye. And he kind of starts to walk off. Can't blame me for trying. However,
Well, we're adopting a mind flayer, so.
yeah, I suppose you have. I should probably tell you, though. I haven't been, well, entirely truthful.
I think we should let this one go.
That's not my name.
Oh.
My name. Yes, Brant. Is. And it's just, it is just senseless. Tentacle nonsense. Like, you can tell it's supposed to be a language, but like, even comprehend languages that there's no language there. It's just like their version of a name. I should warn you about my boss. And there's a bit of a boom. This thing that shakes the ground. He's not going to be too pleased. And a shadow appears on the ground in front of you. Do you look up?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And so
I don't think I want to make eye contact with this.
what was that?
I said I don't think I want to make eye contact with this thing.
Okay. For those of you that look, you see something floating in the sky. And Elia, it looks almost like your necklace. The tentacles sprawling out. Long, sort of purplish, bluish, black cloak flowing outwards as well. A wand in one hand. His hand outstretched the other. A crystal in his hand. And in common. Perfect fluent common. You know what's coming, Brad.
I think I do.
My name is Borzog. And I'm here to take your world. And there is a flash. As he points down toward the ground toward you. There's a great, bright flash. Everyone roll me one quick religion check.
I think, yeah, that's my specialty. 21.
Perfect. I was going to have you do it with advantage, but 21's enough. You're good.
Also a 21.
Can Elia make it an advantage
Due to your,
since she's religious?
This is not bad sheet.
I'll give it to you. Due to your background, I'll give it to you. Yeah.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
23.
23. What did you say? Is that 11? Okay. I'm still gonna say it's enough. Honestly, it's not a high DC due to the nature of the world. It would be otherwise, but due to the nature of the world, your background, I think it's enough. Bright flash, and as it fades, there is a second figure in the sky. White armor, blue flowing cape, lance with a blue and gold tatter. And you all recognize this person to varying degrees. Blonde hair and blue eyes, a veneer. The god of light and life. The head of the gods. He doesn't take kindly to terrorists. to people encroaching on his domain. And he's a good 30 feet off. And this is just a spectacle. You're just down there watching. Morzog, his wand still pointed toward the ground toward you. He hasn't done anything yet, and he just looks over toward this guy. Crystal in one hand. Tentacles kind of still furling, almost as if blowing in the wind. And then at a speed that Elia, even you, would call impressive. They fly toward each other. And there is a bang. And there is heat. And there is fire and force that rends the flesh from your bones.
Oh.
And there is darkness.
Oh no.
There are
TPK.
five. There are 5.
Can't be.
Oh, it's not over. Hold on. There are 5 of you. Elia. Your eyes close. When your eyes open. You see gray. Everything is gray. The ground is cold beneath you. And as you begin to look around, you see the rest of the party in similar states of waking up. Everyone is there. Except Warden. And Santa Clans. Sap. And the Warforged buddy. He's gone as well. But everyone else is there. Everyone at the party. And as you look around, you see a large group of people. It's not just the party, there's more. There's hundreds of people laying in this empty field. There's no walls or anything. It just stretches for miles. And there's a cliff that you can see as you kind of shake your head awake. And you all see this. I was just choosing one person's perspective to describe it. You all see this. You look over and you see a cliff with a woman standing in it, wearing long, sheer robes. A key in one hand and a glass of wine in the other. Welcome the souls of the damned. Welcome to Krakatoa. Let the games begin. And that's where we're ending tonight's session.
Did I just get indoctrinated into Squid Games? Is this? I didn't watch it, so I don't know how it works.
Good luck, fuckers.
Yeah. Let the games begin. What that means, you're going to find out next session.
I'm
Fucking Hunger Games.
Yeah, we had the same idea.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
Oh no.
Hey, do we still have our stuff?
Yes. You
We've
wake
got
up.
a very
You still have.
game.
You still
Awesome, I still have the gun.
Yes. Anything you had on you at that moment, you have. Your armor, your weapons, everything.
Oh, yeah.
And that goes for everyone around you as well. So. There we go. We'll see how that progresses next time. Next session is going to be a little odd. It's the 4th of January, so New Year. as far as recording, it's going to be fucking weird because Connor's going to be here. So we're going to have to figure out how the mic situation and all that's going to work, but we'll make it work. That's it. That's it. I'm ending stream. I don't know how to do outros, so bye. Woo.